If it's, yeah, ESPOT, the Ocho. If it's almost a sport, we have it. Today, we're going to be talking about the Kanna games.
Week 1 just wrapped
Week
up.
1. And it was league play. First days of the league play.
First day of league play.
It was a rough start. I hear it was pretty bumpy.
It was rough to say the least. We'll just put that one out there. A lot of people didn't show up, but it didn't. I'm not gonna lie, drop the ball on promotion.
But it did not diminish the gameplay
at all. The games we played were lit, so we got that going for us. Let's see. Let me get some. On a sub note, we did. Oh, I did not take the ads off yet. Should we take the ads off the Twitch? If you've got an opinion, let us know. Discord will get a notification that we went live here soon. B6 has kind of got to get on that.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I guess I should be.
We've got the motherfucking PP Squad 1, right? We have to distribute points as well.
That's
so,
right.
let me actually pull that up.
That's right. Based on your rankings from this current tournament, you guys will be receiving your points, and then based on your point accumulation, when the final tournament is announced for this season, it will decide if you made it or not.
Oh, you know what? Our audio's fucked off. We didn't fix that. Sorry.
God.
So actually, Gilbert.
We're restarting something.
No, we're not gonna restart anything.
But we're just doing a test.
Yeah.
We're just doing a test. Don't mind me. If it's almost a broadcasting station, we got it. We're trying our best. But I will say, Polo, you were there, ground level, busting out the moves. Tell me about the first game.
It went pretty well. We were down 3-4.
Hold on, wait for it because we need audio.
Oh, we don't have audio?
Well, I don't know what the quality is right now. Let's see, put that in over there. And we're gonna put this one over here on me. Five people watching.
Oh.
No, you took too much off.
Oh, it's breaking.
Hold on, you gotta hold that down because he's gotta.
Here we go. I ain't gotta do shit.
Yo!
Oh, this is heavy.
No, you need this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this, you needed to hold that while you put that on there.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it.
I don't, that's not.
That's not. Oh, you're breaking
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, man.
This is why we can't have nice things. Kai, what's up, dog?
Did I break something?
Something fell down, that's for
No,
sure.
it was just.
That's gonna kind of be
alone.
yours and Dom's mic, and then this is gonna kind of be mine and yours.
What the hell's going on over there? I'm not getting visual, but it sounds rough.
Bear with us. Wait, what up, dog? Oh yeah, we got our first sub yesterday on Twitch. So that's pretty dope. Davey Freckles, shout out.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I was twisting it the wrong way.
There we go. Oh, snap. What is it? Alright, this is broken. Really broken.
I'll set it up for him.
Alright.
There we go. Test. Yep.
Are we getting good? Is that it?
Well, this one's on.
Am I on?
Mic check 1, 2.
Chest
What
Those
up, Dank?
just
Oh,
those.
we got some people. We're gonna talk league today. Get some point shit out there. Watch out, Joe Barrett.
I'm just watching a couple of highlights, I see Taxman cleaning it up.
Taxman did well till we fell apart internally.
A 200 to 190, it looks like a close game on that one.
Say something, Gilbert.
Yo, what up?
Dom?
Yo.
Okay, Dom might have to talk a little louder.
Yo. What's happening?
So we were touching base, Polo was telling us some highlights about his first match and what was going down.
It was dope, man. We were down 1.
What team were you on?
I was on the Boogaloo Crew,
Okay.
and we played the Kanna Cadets. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of camping by those guys.
The Kanna Cadets?
Yeah, a little bit of camping.
That's alright.
With
That's
the little
alright.
snipers. It's cool. We were
I
down
had
1.
my-
We expected it to be a.
I was supposed to play in that team, but
Yeah.
I had my cousin fill in for me.
They did good. They won. You can't hate on the winner.
Right.
But we're down 1. I think we got Droopy now. We're rolling. My buddy Greg, and we're gonna add one more.
Yo,
Got
Frankie.
somebody I'm
Did you
adding.
have somebody that didn't play? That was on your team?
Yeah. And so
2
we're-
people.
Yeah. So we're gonna add a couple in there.
Controlling
And,
an occupied zone. No, sorry. He was talking about camping.
But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
What do you mean camping?
Oh, I mean,
What's up, dude? I'm doing something.
just kind of like,
Speak truth.
Okay.
just kind of like, sitting on top of the top of the wall, with the sniper rifle.
Right. No, I get what you're
And you
saying.
can't really with that you gotta like come out a certain amount to like capture the thing, so you just keep getting shot. It's like
Right.
it's like alright, man.
Yeah.
And you're down 3. You only have 3 players, so it's not like you can spare somebody running way back there. So
No,
it's tough.
I get
it makes
you.
it tough.
It's-
But it was good. It was fun.
It's hard to do a Hail Mary when you're running limited on supplies.
Exactly. But it was cool though. Oh man, I mean, gameplay was so dope.
What map was it on?
Crash.
Crash.
We did a lot of
Definitely.
Crash. We ended up doing a lot of Crash.
Crash is a good domination
Crash.
map, you know.
Yeah.
I noticed when we did the Search and Destroy tournament, like we had quite a bit of pushback from the community on whether or not we were gonna play Crash or not. But once domination was announced, there was
Yeah, it's a little different.
yeah, the conversation was a little bit different.
For sure.
Sure.
It was where we did we switch to the CDL style where we started doing weapon bans.
No,
Or-
and so because what we did is we did a poll on Discord and we did a poll on Facebook Kanna Gamers group, and with both polls and deleting duplicate people who voted, it was even. It was 50-50
right.
on what people wanted, and then I thought that people didn't really understand what my question was when I proposed, because it turned into settings and more I was thinking about game structure is kind of what I was talking about, but it was 5-5, so I didn't switch it and thought that was something that we needed to talk about without me just changing it. So we could use whatever.
Crispy's talking about how he dropped a gunship on Crash. What team were you on, Chris?
He's 9 Inch Males.
Oh, you were 9 Inch Males?
Yeah. I know everybody. I've seen every second of gameplay.
I was there.
I was there, yeah. And what's funny is, so I noticed a strategy for domination, kind of, all right? And so what happened is that they were, it seemed like whoever obviously, whoever had control of 2 checkpoints the longest won. But what it was is it was a big difference in who got Bravo first and who held on to 2 checkpoints the longest. And there were some teams who were like, so like the Blasted Blasters in one game was getting smoked on the kills, but they were like behind by like 10 points, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because they were dominating the checkpoints.
Right.
And but then there was another, like the PP squad, who ended up winning, their like middle 2 games, they were playing only checkpoints, and they were balling, like they were
Right.
getting kills and shit, but they were doing objectives. And like the one team they played never got the second objective, and they just were 2-1 the whole time and didn't do anything but camp on Alpha and Bravo
Right.
because it's all they needed to do.
Right.
And once you have 2 checkpoints, it almost becomes a defensive game.
Yeah.
This is what I noticed. For sure.
And then so like I definitely noticed that, and it's and people play a lot of different. I like the fact that throughout the Kanna League we've been evolving. We started off in a team deathmatch, right?
Right.
And it's about fucking who's gonna fucking shoot you in the foot fast enough.
Yeah.
And then we started doing search and destroy, and it's a little bit of that a more fucking methodical, you know, smaller maps, more designated kind of checkpoints.
Your life is super valuable.
Life
once you're done, you're done.
super valuable, you know.
Yeah.
It's about like your gameplay style adapts, and then we're doing domination where it's not necessarily about killing people, you know, or it's more of like a tug of war kind of scenario, what kind of, you know, push and pull. But it was dope. I like domination personally. It's one of my favorite game types to play because you know, a lot of people do the alpha bravo kind of push pull, you know, but yeah, it's the few OGs that fucking they'll sit there and they'll
the long sweep to Charlie.
Right. They'll observe that you know, B's dominated, right? So they're like, fuck that. I'm just gonna go all the way around the map. Fucking, they do the Alpha Charlie cap, you know, and then they start spawn controlling people in the center, and the center of the map's more exposed than having your wall to a back to a wall, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's a different gameplay when you can sit there and really pin them on Bravo.
For sure. I was noticing some cool things too. There was one team that seemed, I can't remember who it was. I'll have to, when I clip the shit on Twitch, I'll check. But it was like, the fucking, it was like, oh, the notification just went out to Discord. But it was like fucking. There was one point when one team had control of 3 objectives.
Right.
And instead of trying to go concentrate on one, the other team went for 2. Right?
Right.
And then they ended up like swinging both of those objectives or like getting them close, and someone got killed, so they didn't get that. But they definitely snatched up the one, and then they made a play on that 3rd one right after they got the. So then, in a matter of a minute, if that, they had 2-1 now.
Right.
Instead of 3-0. And so it made a lot of sense to me to, instead of trying to go get one objective, split the efforts, because they split the teams, and someone's going to lose. But if one of you succeeds, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. And on a 2v2, any team versus any team, there's a good chance you come out on top.
Right.
I feel like, you know?
Yeah, trying to split your odds. So it's like if you're capping 2 objectives simultaneously and stuff, you sit there and you have to either pinpoint on one objective, you know,
or
you're definitely gonna lose that one.
One of them.
Or you split your forces and
potentially lose both of them, potentially gain both of them. It's more of a gamble.
Right.
Right.
Especially because you don't know.
What are you doing?
Especially because you don't know how many forces are on a checkpoint too. You know, there could be one person on the back one because it's the furthest checkpoint to get to. Then you got 3 cap in the center, and then you go in there with 2 people, and you get fucking.
And you get the fucking shit.
Yeah. You get the hands.
What?
But
so,
there's going to be some updates we're going to go
yeah, so we
over
wanted to
with
talk about because we definitely had some situations where that maybe we should change and whatever, you know, like there was definitely some shit that I thought that maybe wasn't fair or an ideal situation for some people. Here, I'm just trying to line this bracket up so we can get the points out. Because we do have to distribute points based on people's ranking. And this is the completed brackets, both of them right here. And see, I should be showing this on here. But, alright, so here, check it out. We got some comments. I had dropped a gunship on Crash, we got that. Did we get third?
Third.
Did we get third? Oh yeah, so 9 Inch Males, yeah, you got third. So so it looks like PP Squad.
Capture the Flag was voted on.
Capture the Flag as a thing?
Yeah, Capture the Flag is the most commonly played.
People should get a point for every round they won in the bracket for the league. So we were kind of thinking initially that we would do points based on their final position, and especially with the losers bracket, it helps even that out, right? So like there's a definite first or definite third and fourth place, like it's obvious who those people are. You get into because like PP Squad's first and Roach's second, right? and then the 9-inch males would be third, and the motherfucking blasters would be fourth, and then there's a tie for 5 and 6. So if we did, you know, these people potentially get the same points, and these people, right, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8,
Right.
and then like 9 through 12 get the same amount of points. And I'm
Right.
thinking that if you didn't even play, you get 0.
Well, you would be in the considered bottom bracket, so you'd get the least amount.
Well, but I think that if you play though, then you
What?
get points.
Oh,
And if
I
you
get.
don't play.
I get.
Like if you have to forfeit.
You have to participate to fucking.
Right. If you have to forfeit in the first round,
Yeah.
like you're a no-show, like you get no points.
Right. I get.
You know what I
So
mean?
the whole game
Right.
though, or just for that
For the-
round? So are we doing it per round, or are we doing it at the end?
Well, I mean, in this situation, it would be for the whole game, though, right? So, like, they take the L on the first one, but if you don't show up, like, E-Money, like, they didn't show
Right.
up for the first one or the second
If you
one.
take a DQ, you don't get the point. But if you're just taking an L, you know, and you bracket out low,
And then you
get
play
the
somewhere.
points.
So you think? So we are doing a point per game played?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
per
we're-
tournament bracket.
Well, wait. So that's two different things, right?
Yeah,
So
right,
what
right.
what I was just saying, what we had thought of before, was that it would be points based on where you placed.
Right. Right.
What Kai's talking about is
Points
point
based on
for every
the
round you
round.
win.
Right.
Now here's the thing. So Kai actually submitted us a thing that is, you know, a way to structure the league, which is pretty close to what we were talking about. It just irons out a couple of things and makes them a little different, which I kind of
Right.
like. And we all kind of seem to like what was there, right?
Yeah.
So, my question then to you, Kai, is then, is your point for every round is that for this proposal that you sent, or is that for the existent way that it was, if you even knew what that was? And then also what is a round, right? So let's lay this proposal out. Y'all ready? Rated, Dank Pope, Kai, whoever else is watching. Y'all ready? So it's kind of like this. Instead of doing a double elimination game mode for the week, let's put the whole frame on it. So there's the
Yeah.
league that exists that leads up to the Kanna Games 2.
Snap at the base.
Right? Kanna Games 2, there's dope trophies, there's hella fucking, there's more than likely going to be more than just one game going on, like maybe a different, like, because we were talking about doing Fortnite or something like that in some
Tony Hawk, Pro
capacity.
Skater.
Tony Hawk would be super dope.
Right. Fill-in games.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
like there's Kanna
NBA
Games 2
2K,
has the potential
2K.
to be more than just Call of Duty's
2K.
Call of Duty, but right now it is just Call of Duty.
Right.
So the idea was that it's limited entry into Kanna Games 2, and in order to get in Kanna Games 2, you either participate in a league and do well in the league or well enough in the league, and then we have these tournaments where if you win a tournament, you also get into Kanna Games.
Right.
So what that does is that means that there's going to be league play that's separate from tournament play, right? And so what we were doing is trying to have the league play every other week, work in the tournaments, yada, yada, yada. We have a schedule, we put it out there, it's good. The question then becomes, how do we play the league play and how is that different from a tournament? And so this proposal kind of addresses that. And so what this says is instead what we did is we did double elimination for the week. Instead we would do single elimination, and then we do double elimination on the tournaments,
Right.
right? Which would make the tournaments super long and the weeks not so much.
But we could
Which is fine.
potentially break up the tournaments.
We could potentially break a tournament into multiple days. Like if we in July we come out and there's 24 people trying to play or some shit.
Right.
You know, we had 16 last time and that was a lot.
Right. And we had 12 the one time.
We had 12 one time. That was
Yes.
even longer because we did that round robin thing.
Right. But the thing is it's growing. It's continuously
We're
growing.
Yeah.
trying stuff.
Yeah, and trying different shit out.
Trying to-
So, I think the double elimination is good for the tournaments. Now, here's a big difference, though. All right. So this is kind of what I was getting at before. In the Call of Duty, we were thinking about doing. And I know I changed it. I like the single for the week and the double for the tournament. On Boris.
Board.
I'm on board.
Typo.
On board. Gotcha. Okay.
What's up, Boris?
Boris?
Да! Привет, mi comrade!
Fucking. So here was the difference, and this was kind of the difference I was trying to address. What we had scheduled was we would do one game mode per week, right?
Right.
In the Call of Duty League, they do all 3 game modes per series. Right. So it's best 3 out of 5. You at least play one of each game mode. If
And
you have to go to a 4th and 5th
then that
game,
way, if we do alternate to that
recycle.
situation, then we can point out per game.
and so that's
like
the
what was
question:
being proposed.
is what he's saying. Kind of drunk. You're all good, homie. So what Kai was saying is that people should get a point for every round they play. So my question for Kai is that per round, as in, or per round they win, is that per round as in each round of the 3 out of 5, or is that you win a 3 out of 5 and you get a point? You know what I mean?
Right. I'm almost thinking just so we're not.
So is it more valuable to win 3 versus 3-0?
I just for like numbers' sake, you know what I'm saying? So we're not having to keep track of too much. I think it would be at the end of 3 out of 5 you would get the point. So we're not just.
But a team that always gets those 2 wins, like if you always lose a series 3-2, should you be? You know what I mean? Like, should you get 4 points out of that, and the other team gets 6, or should you get 0 points?
No, I don't.
You get what I mean? Because there's a difference between a team who wins 3-2 and a difference between a team that loses 3-0.
Yeah.
He said winning the series.
Winning the series. I was thinking it would be better best 2 out of 3. It'd be a little quicker.
Right.
But then we wouldn't get to all the game modes.
We will. So this is what I'm thinking: single elimination per game mode, right? So we do like domination, search and destroy, and team deathmatch, and then you would get a point per victory in that game mode, right? But you're only playing that against one other opponent, and then you sit there and you potentially cycle out your opponents throughout the day.
So, okay, I missed part of that because someone made a funny comment on Instagram, and I read it, and I thought it was funny. But it was, sorry.
But no, you're fine.
So what, but you just said something about series per game mode? What it was kind of going to be is we played 3 out of 5. First game's domination, second game search and destroy, third game's hard point or whatever.
Right.
And then if we need a 4th game, we go back to domination. If we need a 5th game, we go back to search and destroy. That's how the CDL is set up.
Right. So I think what we should do is I agree with him about doing the 2 out of 3, right? So what we should probably do is like do a search.
Like we start with a certain game mode.
We start with search and destroy is the first one we do, and then you do domination, and then
like first round search and destroy, second round we
round's
start
domination,
with, but it's the one we start with.
And then you know the tiebreaker could be the team deathmatch or something like that, or you get what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so are you saying that we do best 2 out, like you're saying round 1 best 2 out of 3 domination?
Right. So we do 2 out of 3, but we switch up the game mode per round because you know how a lot of people will sometimes feel as though like they're dominating a different game type than others and such.
Well, but if we do it the other way, where you play a 2 out of 3 match, first game we play domination, second game we play search and destroy, and then if I won domination, you won search and destroy, the tiebreaker is hard point or whatever the fuck it is.
But and then another thing I was thinking about is not per game necessarily, but per bracket. Like as you're moving down, it's a 2 out of 3. Like
no, that's what I'm saying.
Like
big difference.
Right, like everybody starts out 2 out of 3 search and destroy, and then when you
hit some wax though,
and then when you move down the bracket, you know. And then this bracket's the domination bracket, and then so on and so forth. And then you would have your finals would be played out as the most competitive thing, like King of the Hill or something along the lines of that.
Let's entertain that here for a second. Let's get off topic and then come back to it.
Right.
What if I was thinking the other day? Yeah, that sounds good. What you had said. Okay. Ready, crispy. I hate to be that guy, but we're gonna need a little more. Who's you? Yeah. But okay. So I forget. Oh, what were you just saying with? King of the Hill thing.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be dope if a team, because Christians, what up, Davey? Davey's our first sub on Twitch.
What up, Dave?
You see, he's got
first.
a first.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, what the hell? What up, boy? What's
So,
up, man?
What we do. Ah. So, one thing that I don't like, and I think that other people don't like, is how they come in and they waited however long, 2 weeks, whatever. Been waiting, been practicing, training. They come in, they play 10 minutes, and then they wait for an hour and a half to play again. 10 minutes for an hour and a half on top of 2 weeks. 2 weeks, whatever, because that's just the schedule. But you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they got to sit around. And then now we're talking about loser brackets.
Yeah.
And it was like more.
And it's like, how long do I got till I have to come back, and nobody really knows.
And we don't know.
So
even.
I think that's why I really personally like the one-on-one matchups each week, and you just play each other, maybe a best of 5, a best of 7.
Right.
Play each other for an hour, and that way you can.
And it's at a time.
It's at a time.
Like on Saturday, we're just dedicating 8 hours to this.
And your time
but
is
you're only
7
need
to 8.
to be there for an hour.
Your team is there from 9 to 10. Your team is there from 10 to 11, whatever. And we do the hour, bust it out, and then I feel like the only thing that would be hard about that is the schedule and how we would break it down.
I mean, I'll dedicate the 8.
I got something that I would like to maybe that would take that same kind of concept but apply it to the brackets. Like everybody, it's Saturday and everybody will play once. You know what I'm saying? They'll do, and then at that point we can even make it best 3 out of 5 or whatever. And so they sit there and we let them play the maximum amount of time as possible, and then either the next day or the next week we're on the next bracket line.
But see, so it's just like a 3-week tournament type deal.
Right.
That we play one day a
So what we do is
Right.
instead of filming it in one weekend, we expand it over a couple of days or weekends, and then we make the gameplay content for the individual a little bit longer at that point.
Okay, hold on. You should do it like every week. Somebody versus something is a different team, and then next week they're versing a different team, and then at the end we all count. But does that mean that everyone? So here's the thing: is we didn't think there's two things to that. I think our commitment to do it every other weekend is okay. Like we could swing that. The thing is, we wanted to also incorporate. Like people are really asking about Fortnite, and so we really wanted to have the potential to do a weekend where we did a Fortnite tournament, like we did the first Kanna games.
I'm almost thinking that it should be because the Kanna games thing's official. We've been doing it with the Call of Duty, and I almost think that we should have like what we should do is host like unofficial, play nights type deal. Like where we sit there and we come in as the Kanna Krew and we host the server.
And we just have to where people can play, but it's not for points.
Right.
And it's just like exhibition
Yeah, we
matches.
could just.
Right.
I mean, we could always just. Hey, we can always hit Discord or something and say, hey, we're gonna jump on right now. Who wants to mess
Who
around?
wants to group up and fucking do some shit?
Right.
I really think that filling up one of those ground battle things.
That's why we need. That's why we need everybody to join our regiment. Honestly, on
the
Call of Duty.
KKGL?
Yeah, we need.
And
people
so,
to join the
but what
KKGL
goes on with
regiment.
that is as
we
we
can all
start
play
doing
together.
these games and stuff like that, it kind of starts developing among itself. We start creating our own lobbies, if you will.
Right.
And then once the lobby builds, then we can start executing on a tournament on it, and so on and so forth.
What you have now is nice. Just need better time frames. Maybe have 2 hosts having 2 games going, so it's not so long in between.
Right.
And
We've
don't have
been
people's
also
plans
talking
fucking
about
up.
So, like you said, they're waiting a long time, not enough gameplay, and they don't know exactly when they're doing it. The one that we were talking about,
Yep.
1 game, hour, bust it out.
Right.
What's I really like about that is that, so next week when I go to play this team, I'm going to be able to go back to Kanna Game or YouTube and watch that team And
Right.
I mean, it's going to be a different game mode, but you're going to be able to get some plays that you could run on that team. You're going to have game tape where you could go watch that team,
Right.
study their
A
moves.
consistent game tape, not just hopscotched out the track.
Exactly.
Right.
Like random games here
Like
and
a
there.
fucking real.
An hour of their gameplay, YouTube. Go watch it. See what this dude. This dude likes to do.
Right,
Camp.
right.
This dude likes to do.
Motherfucker likes to jump up in the air with
Change your
cowboy
builds,
hats and do a
change your
360
builds,
headshot.
change your guns, change your strategies, your communication, whatever, man. Shoot, we want y'all to be going in there going
Because
hard.
what's hard about the tournament thing it's hard to have time frames because you don't know. We can have general, right? Like we know that it's going to be an average of 10 minutes on domination.
Right.
But this time it was hard because we had a lot of no-shows. So sometimes, I'd tell someone, oh, you got 3 games ahead of you, and then 2 people cancel and be like, oh, you're next.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, fuck, I was
Right.
just doing whatever. And so I really like
Time frames.
the time thing is a necessity.
Yeah.
And as much as time and I don't really have a good thing going on, I understand its place. So I was,
Right.
so
For coordination across the country.
yeah, because everyone.
Cross country.
I mean, if you're trying to be somewhere with some other people, like that's fucking.
Right.
You need time for that. So
Right.
like,
when the sun peaks
yeah,
over.
when the sun is out. We're gonna jam in different time zones, so it's gonna be a different angle. Let me get my
Right.
protractor.
That's fucking
Like.
Morse code.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, what do we do then? Even if we went to this single, the thing about the single elimination, best 2 out of 3 or something like that, that would make the games move along faster. But it would still potentially have. So you still have someone who wins the whole thing has to be there the whole time.
I want some.
Unless we break it up through the days.
And then also the losers bracket makes it to where it's now you really, because you don't even lose when you lose.
Right.
You really, everyone's got to stick around.
Right.
No,
yeah. So I think that's.
and as much as we want everyone to hang out and watch on Twitch the whole time and comment a million times and make clips and all that shit, people are gonna do their thing. So it's like,
hold on. Let's see. We have no just anybody. Time is key. At the end of the day, if they love and would not like to be more consistent. Life got a sub. 3 series matches takes about 30 to 45 minutes. A 3 series match takes 30.
yeah,
to 45.
right. Baby's
So
in.
what about a 5 series match? Best out of 5.
That's gonna be an hour for sure.
There you go.
Which we experienced when we did the round robin thing, right? That was like an hour per round.
Right.
But the thing is, so
How are we gonna cut the stream down so we're not, wasting people's time, but getting people the most game?
really what we need is a schedule. So, I mean, if someone was, well, I mean, because think about it.
Seriously.
If it was even with the, I had to be available for 8 hours on Saturday, but I don't have to be involved for 8 hours, and I just
Right.
know that at 1, at 4, and at 7, I need to be there. Like, you can make that happen.
Right.
And that's even, but at the same time, it's like, that's still a lot to ask for. I was thinking y'all should do 5 series matches for Kanna games. Yeah, no, that's good. Like 3 series, like best 2 out of 3 for the league and 3 out of 5 for Kanna games.
Right.
So the question is though, do we stick, here's the big difference.
I like having like a sub stream channel for hosting the loser brackets. So when somebody loses, they potentially are almost going into another game immediately.
Now, can we broadcast both of those on Twitch at the same time? Probably
He
not.
said
right?
there's a split screen thing.
There's a way to co-stream and have 2 streams.
Yeah, loser brackets, one winners. I'm down to. I actually want to host one, so I'm down.
I think there's a way to co-stream. It's all about
Right.
upload speed.
Right.
Upload is the thing for
You
stream.
gotta have a fucking landline.
I got
Squad stream. Mofo Chronic says squad stream. So we should write those down as things to look up.
All right, good.
Squad stream.
And
It's actually Suad stream.
Yes.
Suad.
Is Sued.
It's Suad stream.
Yes, Sued. Arigato.
Chocolate, what I say?
Uh,
That means calm down. All right.
yeah,
So,
no, somebody's
wait.
not hanging out that one.
All right, and then that's a potential host and losers bracket. Now, here's the deal. That, in what we've kind of been talking about since we started the stream, that would be something that is happening only on the tournament days, not necessarily on the league days. I'm not.
Right.
If two of y'all are streaming on Twitch, you can send an invite to squad stream, and then what? You can like switch between the two as a viewer or something. Pretty kinda cool.
Or
Right.
it'd be like
Or-
So when the people are getting ready for the one thing, you can switch to the other stream while it's going.
I just
type
want to make
deal.
sure that I can put the highlights, because what I do on Twitch is put the highlights of each game is clipped on Twitch for you to watch from each series or whatever.
Right.
And so I want to be able to do that with the losers bracket as well. And
Right.
if it's on somebody else's thing, is that not going to be a thing? You know what I mean? That's just the question. It splits the screens, so it's literally at the same time.
Right.
How's that for a viewer though? Do you switch audios?
I don't know.
That's interesting. Then it links
Well,
videos
now we
so
got something to
one can
test
see
out.
both on your stream, just
Right.
like live on Insta. People have to choose whether they want to squad stream or not. If you two, okay. So it sounds like, so we'll definitely look this up.
Oh, like on Instagram, so you'll have one up, one down, and then you can choose if you want to see it or not. People have a choice whether or not they want to squad stream or not.
And then they can see one or whatever.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they can figure it out.
Oh, that's dope.
They do what's best for them. Yeah.
And then I wonder how that records on Twitch.
And then it links
That's
the
what we gotta-
video so one can see both on your stream, just like you live on Insta. Dope. Thanks, Davey.
Yeah.
Mad respect for the community.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Okay. So, what we have to think about now is, because so we have it set up where we do it every Saturday, and we're like every other Saturday we'll do something else, potentially.
Right.
I'm almost thinking with League, like how committed is everybody, and is there a way we could do it where we play Monday, Wednesday, Friday at
Right.
8 p.m.
Like,
or something?
well,
you know?
because this is almost what we do. Like, we play the lesser games on the weekdays. You know what I'm saying? Like Wednesdays after work or whatever the hell kind of scenarios.
And we do like a week of points, and we can almost have
And
we
then
can
what
almost
we
have
do,
a mini tournament
we can
throughout the
almost-
whole week,
Well,
Good.
that's what we're
like
doing.
2 games a night, or like 3 nights a week, 2 games.
Right. And then on the weekend is the actual
It's like 1
3
and 2
out of
and
5,
3 out of
the
4
finals of the
of the
people
week,
rounding up
like
from the
to,
week.
to round
Right.
out the top 4.
So like all these small brackets that we're talking about, we're actually playing them on like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, and then we played the finals from those brackets on Saturday. And then that way, you know, people have a little bit more time.
Team
to
with the
prepare.
most points at the end of the week get a bye. A bye for what?
Up the next bracket.
Yeah, so the way we determined the buys this week was based on the tournament play prior, because that's all we had.
Right.
And so if you weren't in the tournament last time, you got placed at the bottom. So like our created teams, except for yours, because yours was actually a thing.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you didn't know, we each had a team: the Kanna Cadets, the Boogaloo Krew, and the Taxmen. We each, and only Dom played.
I definitely had a little bit of emergency, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's looking up.
Yeah, it is. It's looking.
So, all right, yeah. So that's what he's talking about, a bye at the end. So like you would play on Wednesday then instead of Tuesday or whatever. But see, then we gotta figure out math on the motherfucking. That you might have to plug that in down and back there. But it's like up, like you gotta stand up for sure. Yeah. Or yeah, because I don't have a cube, so it's in the.
It's all good.
Here, I got you. Hold on.
It's all good.
It's all good. Say something, one of you.
Hey.
What up? Shada-da-da-da-da, yo-do-do-do-do-do.
Man, I wish we could smoke some damn blunts, man.
I know. We need it. We'll get one day. One day.
Yeah.
Grab that
We'll have a
webcam,
real
follow
studio.
me.
When
Yeah.
you're better, right, you know.
Yeah.
Throw it out the fucking window.
Alright. Let me hit something again. So, let me actually hit mine. So we've been smoking yours a lot.
What?
Yours is tasty, but
I got another one at the
oh, that's yours. What's
Yeah,
on
I
this
switched
one?
it. I switched it.
This
It's
one.
a hybrid.
I was like, so help me God, if that's that green
sour
tea
diesel. That sour diesel.
tasting bullshit, have you just thrown that out?
I think it's sour diesel.
We need some Kanna Krew dab caps.
Some sour weasel.
Yes.
Let's hit up the
The
fucking
people, see what it's all about. Alright.
Yeah.
So, we'll hit them up. Anyways. So, what do you think? 6 homies that are here? Is
they
it.
could even keep their logos on it.
Oh, so that's both? I think they do that. Or maybe not. I don't know.
They should.
And we'll have them our little colors. Our green and.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one of the
Give me like
collabs.
5 of those.
And we'll have the little
I'm
stripe
hitting
of
those
that
up.
teal shit.
Maybe we can get
That,
Zong.
blue shit. Those Zong ones would be super dope.
Yes.
Alright. Back on track. So,
I gotta try.
guy in the blue def had a Critchard this morning. No, he
What?
cleans Critchards for a living.
Cleans what?
Critchards?
Are those toilets?
Toilets are Critchard receptacles.
Oh shit.
Well, it's a certain kind of shit, I guess.
Animal or human?
It's human.
Alright.
I don't think it's specific.
I do both.
Alright.
Okay.
I specialize in birds and old people.
Oh goodness.
Birds and old people. Alright. Okay. So, are we thinking? So, if we did what I just suggested, there's some math that has to go into how we would break it down and what the time commitment is. But not everyone would have to be there every time, you know. And I'm just not.
Right.
Yeah, I think every other week gives us plenty of time, and I think it's if you get an hour to play.
So you think throughout the week, or that? Well, see, that's not important. We could do it. We could set it up to where it's all on Saturdays, and then
'Cause
move them to the week
Let's
throughout the season. if
let's
we
think
wanted.
about it. You know,
Everyone's
the bring up set
I don't think we
the
should try
game
to
that
do too much.
the bring up the
Yeah, that's what I'm
game
saying.
that
Well, you
can't
mean
be
in one
spoken
shot?
of.
Yeah.
You know, Conquest lasts about an hour plus. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like-
that's Smite crowd. That's not the same as COD crowd.
Yeah, I know.
COD is a lot more fast paced,
Yeah.
and it's not like a Smite. Like you're one step from D&D, where you're locked in a basement for 12 hours.
I'm not seeing a bad side.
All right, but okay.
Alright.
So what do y'all think? Do you think it would be better to do the tournament on the weekends for every other weekend for the league play, or should we make it to where it's heads up? Like, would it be tournament, best 2 out of 3 with different game modes, or is it heads up, best 3 out of 5, different game modes? So it seems to be different game modes.
Right. I like doing the game modes down the bracket because it changes the
Down the
people.
bracket?
Right.
I
Opposed
feel
to
like
having
that's
one
that
every
sound,
other
to me
game.
sounds like Kanna games,
That's the
right?
More
Because
of
you want.
that'll be more of our tournament style than our pickup game
No,
style.
tournaments are always one.
Tournaments are so they see then that distinguishes the Kanna games from the regular tournament,
Right.
because to get so one thing that Kai was saying, hey, rated crispy
What up?
number 2,
Dun,
what
dun,
up
shoot.
dog, big shout out to fucking
What up,
crispy,
what up,
what's
what
up,
Man.
fucking
What up, G?
hey, best 2 out of 3 on the week, on the okay, so best 2 out of 3 is tournament structure, right? So it's
Right.
tournament structure with, and it's best 2 out of 3, and then you advance, and there's 12 teams, which there may end up being less teams after this. We'll see. But there's 12 teams right now, and
We should
that's
almost,
something we should talk about too.
yeah, right. And we should almost have a system set up to based on how many teams that come. You know, if it's a low amount of teams, we do the 3 out of 5 stuff. You know, and if it's a lot of teams, we do the 2 out of 3. Like we're able to transition based on how many teams we want to put in.
Okay. So.
Well, I definitely like the hour of gameplay, man. I think that
Hour
waiting
gameplay.
2 weeks to play that hour with your team after you've been watching that.
That's like a real game, like a real sport,
That's like Sunday football, man. You're showing up, you got your team, you've been studying their game tape, you're ready to take them on. Because the top 5 are gonna. It's the top 5. The people and points are gonna get taken into the Kanna games too.
Right.
So I mean, you just got to be better than what 7 other teams, like.
No, exactly, and
right,
or win a tournament.
And two of them didn't even show up. One of them got disqualified.
Two teams didn't play
there
yesterday.
Right. So
no, 3 teams, and so then that's another thing is the PP squad wasn't even registered.
Right.
The PP squad wasn't because Troki was there. He wanted to play, but all 3 of his people abandoned him. I guess he probably should have just taken the L. Yeah. But so we kind of, I feel like I tainted the week by letting that team that wasn't registered play.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because like, are they a team and they get points now, or do they not a team and then you gotta hit it?
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Sorry, guys.
Okay, no problem.
I'm all late.
Yeah, you're getting out. Yeah,
that's cool.
Do your thing.
Yeah, I'll hit you guys up later.
Okay, for sure. And we'll reposition this camera then and fuck with the mics a second. Because we got a couple things to talk about. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, bet.
Alright, peace out, Gilbert. Drive safe.
Yeah. See you later, bro.
Take care. Chinese food! No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so what we'll do is, hold on guys. I'm gonna send a couple other ideas in this thing. I'll talk about them. Here, screw that in over there. And then take this. Oh no, you did it upside down. This one's gonna pick up most everything anyway, so you're gonna want this to be kind of like that, and then hold up. Gilbert's got people in the hospital, so he got a call. He had to hit it. Well, so here we are.
Yes, sir.
All right, and okay, let me see. My audio level's pretty good. Okay, let's do it. So, let me know about the couple other ideas. Damn it, Weezy. So we had, you switch through the things. And then one thing he was talking about, which was pretty cool, is the maps can be decided right before the match, potentially, like the community decides. So each team would pick a map, and then the chat would pick a map, right? And then you use the chat map as the tiebreaker or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then you wouldn't reveal the game modes until after the maps are selected.
So that it would be a different game mode, but you wouldn't know the game mode until you played?
Well, all 3 game modes are on the schedule, you just don't know the order. And you don't know the map order. Like, you couldn't be like, okay, we're playing Search and Destroy, so we're going to play this map. You just got to pick a map you want as a team. The other team picks a map. The chat picks a map, and then we put those in queue, and then we put game modes in queue.
And we can set that up easily.
Yeah, that's easy. So the
Okay.
teams would just have to submit maps they wanted.
Okay.
That would be the only thing
That's
that
something
we
we
would
need the league to do. So if they can commit.
Yeah, I mean, we would just hit them up. I mean, that should be pretty easy. Like, what map do you want to play?
Yeah.
Like, everyone should have an opinion.
Right.
Each team should have an opinion. They would be picked randomly. The game modes would be, but it's the 3 game modes, but the order of the game modes would be picked randomly. Of the 3, right?
Yeah.
So nobody would know which game mode to pick on. And then that was another thing that was pretty cool in here. The playlist right after the 2 teams gives you the 2 maps. They want the series. Yep. Because then it'd be different maps all the time, and teams would have input. They'd get to play on a map they liked. Everybody would get to play on a map they liked, and then it keeps the motherfucking the chat involved and shit, which is dope. So like in WWF when they yell hit him with the chair, we could actually hit him with the chair. And they're like, make them play fucking Rust or whatever. Like if the chat wants to troll the league and make them play a shitty map, I don't know if Rust is a shitty one.
Right.
Or if they want to hook them up and be like, everyone, team deathmatch, Atrium. That's not. But
however it went.
And then,
I hear you.
Winning a series. Oh, so then there'd be distinction, right? If you win a series, you're potentially a better overall player or team for multiple game modes than we're just really good at search and destroy, right? And so the Kanna games would be, the top teams would be better overall teams theoretically, as opposed to just dominating one game mode. The tournament, if you can dominate one game mode, you can get into the league, but then we take the top 5 all around teams.
And that's why the Kanna game is different though, because we play different game modes each round. So you're gonna have to be good at all those game modes anyway.
Like if you win the search and destroy tournament, but then you have to play domination first round, and you lose, then
you're out.
Yep.
That's why the Kanna games is so special.
And that's why the league helps pick out good teams for the Kanna games.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense. So that's kind of. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Chat decides if they want to screw them over or not. Yeah, exactly. No LMGs and RPGs. So that's another thing, too, we'd have to discuss is limitations. I'm not necessarily opposed to going. Me personally, I like the RPG as a second. But whatever.
I like the RPG.
Yeah.
I mean, you only get 2 shots with it. It's like another grenade.
It takes a long time to reload. Unless you throw the thing in there.
You
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like in a search and destroy game, that RPG could fucking win the whole game.
We'll get you some RPGs then.
Get out there, get your money.
You have you a loadout, then you get 8 loadouts. Come on, man.
Yeah, but then at the same time, CDL does not use. They have weapon restrictions, and it includes, like, you can only have a frag grenade or the Semtex.
Or is that my phone?
It says I got good connection.
Might be my phone.
Are we frozen? They'll tell us if we frozen.
Yeah, it might be just my phone.
Could be. So I'm not viewing. I'm just in the chat. Nah, we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of it then, yeah? Kai, there's some more. That's kind of it. If I missed something,
I thought it was very, very similar to ours, but definitely different where you play each game mode per week.
Instead of
and then
splitting it out.
switching the game, and then having a defined type of elimination per league versus tournament.
And then we would have
definitely be different.
And then we would have a we'd have records for the different game modes. You know what I mean? Throughout everyone would have a record. But And then we could do, because we remember we want to do the Intercontinental Champ and all that shit.
Right.
Like we want to be like, you were the league, you won the most of search and destroy in the whole league, or you won the most whatever.
Right.
You know, or like a league MVP.
Something.
You know, all that kind of shit.
Something.
Stat track everything. And a lot.
And all that.
And all that. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we could have, and we got the URL, and I'll set up the little website to have all the info out there all the time. But I think that I think that's good. But what we got, I think that there's a good debate to happen between if we do tournament style, like what's the bigger issue for people, right?
Right.
Is it's the time, right? So the thing about the tournament is, are we ever going to be able to is it going to not be a you got to be there for 5 hours thing? Is it ever going to be able to not be that?
So that's why we want, because here's the difference about the tournament. Tournament is different. You have different stakes. Like you win you win it, you're in, right? Like you're in the Kanna games.
Yeah.
So the league play is just kind of like, okay, like, oh, this dude's gone this week. Okay, we get third place. We still get X amount of points, or hey, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit, whatever. That's why you have that interchangeables, I think.
That's why. So you're not stressing if people drop out. Well, like, because the 9-inch males, they were there the whole time, but then they literally, like, dude's dad came in from out of town and had to go to dinner with him.
Right.
Like, but he was there all day, and then they had forfeit in the semifinals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
so that's why I think it should be overall tournament. If you played, like the dudes that got disqualified twice, 0 points.
For sure.
But the people that maybe had a circumstance come
Well,
up,
then it's wherever you place, right? Because like 9-inch males, they still got third.
Yeah, where they play.
But then think about this. On the other side, the Smoking Roaches pretty much fucking DQ'd their way to second place. Like they played twice, I think, but got second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had to beat a really good team. That team was good that we beat. I subbed for the Smoking Roaches.
Against the 9-inch males.
Yo, that team was good.
So, well, but that was 2 out of 4. They had 2 subs as well. And so that's the other thing, too. It's like we're talking about these points. Hey, Trailkey's here. Cloud's here.
What up?
If we... here's the deal is... So, I'm glad you're here, Cloud. PP Squad won the whole thing, right? But they weren't a registered team. So do we give them points? Are they going to be around? Are they, that's kind of like
so here's the thing. They should. They're going to get a lot of points. It may get them into the Kanna games. They may be
they're first place right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It may get them in the top 5 by the end. They may not have to show up for the rest of the tournaments. League. We'll see. It's up to them.
Yeah.
Yep. It's up to them.
Yeah, we didn't play
because the top 5 are getting into the Kanna games, and I'm telling y'all, the Kanna games, you want to be in the Kanna games.
Wait. So, Ray Crispy is right. You didn't play the 9-inch males. You played the Blasted Blasters, and then you lost against the PP Squad. Yes.
Yeah.
Mofo is
guy.
Kai.
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
That cowboy dude is.
That's Zodi.
That's ridiculous.
Yo, Zodi had fans in the chat. I'm telling you, they came in and they were like, "Zodi's playing. Oh yes, Zodi, you're my favorite."
That dude was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it happened. It's.
We knew he was coming. He's coming down the middle aisle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Is
So
happening,
Mofo
man?
Chronic is Kai. He was on Smoking Roaches, and this is Young Savage. He was a sub. So that's another thing. Is the sub life. I like the sub life because if we didn't have subs, that shit was dead. The tournament would have been over a lot faster, or we would have had to switch to 3s or something. And so, part of that is, like, I'm good, but he makes me look very bad. Zodi's I know, Zodi is absurd. Like, what it is people started saying he could be cheating or something, so I went and I put it on his thing. And I got rid of the outlines so you can't see people across the map from the spectator view.
Yeah.
And so I put it on Zodi, and legit, this dude's thing would make somebody's nauseous, how fast it's moving. Like his sensitivity is so high, it's fucking absurd. Like, and this is what he did. Yo, he legit
jumps.
He jumps a lot, but what he does is he like looked one way, like he looked right, he looked left, he went across, and then he jumped and turned around and got his 6, and there was a dude, and he shot him. But down, like he was just on it.
Like, so he would run, see a dude, and what he would do is
run to the side and jump out
and do a jump 180.
So he's harder to hit. But
he's okay. So he sees
like he's following me, and then he jumped and we got the tape on Zodi.
We got the tape on me, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want, man. I think that'd be dope.
That map, we won. Your clutch on the communication, Kai, for you.
That's what I thought, man. That's what I told Frank. I was like, man, that team has good communication, man. Like really dope.
Full hit in 180s, just flicking his wrist. Exactly. Yeah. So he's got like. Yeah, the sensitivity on that shit. That shit is
good.
You can't fuck with that. And Smite, when they let PC players in, and you would notice how fast they were spinning around, and how much that was an advantage to them. I noticed for sure because I have to play on Smite. I have to play with my sensitivity super low, which makes me really slow.
Yeah.
Right, because you're slow turning, but because I'm pressing them too much or something.
Right.
And so, which is weird because when I was doing Far Cry all that time, it was like absurdly high,
right.
And I just got the hang of it. I don't know. It was weird, but
yeah, man, he was balling, dude.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, I gotta get him to teach me the ways.
He was killing.
Yeah, it is intense. So, all right. So yeah.
Yeah.
That shit. So here's the deal: is like now, how do we, for points, like how do we attribute points?
CDL.
How do we attribute points to like the Smoking Roaches got second, right? Like first off, we have a question about first place. Like, do they get points? Are they in? Are they out? Whatever.
Right.
Then there's a question about second place, even because it was only 2 out of 4 of their people were there, right? So, and then even third place, 2 out of 4 of them got them to third place. I mean, the 9 Inch Nails did everything, and then one game they were 2 out of 4, and then they couldn't play the next game after that.
Right.
But then you have someone like the Blasters who did everything and had all their people and were there and went through the whole thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if we set up the rules one way and then I went and did some rogue shit for the fun of the game, and I feel like the Blasters are slighted.
Well, how?
Because they jumped through all the hoops. They did everything to the book, and some people took an L because they didn't have enough people, and some people were fortunate enough to get subs.
True.
Subs who were from other teams also competing for points.
So what are you thinking about doing for this week? Just giving everybody a bonus point or something?
Well, I don't know.
Well, if you didn't show up for the whole day,
you definitely don't get points. Yeah, like so the 2 teams that didn't show.
And we reached out to everybody and it wasn't
kind of sort of, but I did get feedback from both people where one dude had to work, but his team was ready. So if I had coordinated with him prior, his team probably would have showed.
Okay.
But he was all good. And then the Misfits, he couldn't get his people.
Right.
So.
But they're already they won one, didn't they?
No. They lost to the Mohicans. The Mohicans are the only team that has a spot in the Kanna games, and they are not in the league. They're like, no, we won, we're in, right? We're good.
Yeah,
and they do search and destroy. That's their thing.
All right, hopefully they're ready for domination. And who knows, man? We're kind of playing with some ideas. Searching.
Yeah, shit could happen.
Some other stuff.
I mean, all right. So here we go. I played against him at Chogi. He's correct. So maybe we got to do points individually. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So you. Let me see. I brought him into this because we scrimmed together. Mostly
they're talking about
Zodi. Yeah. He even takes over our chat in residuals.
Yo. He had fans.
He was forced to be right.
But he was. I mean, how many kills did he have in that game?
One game he was like 40 something.
I thought it was 46. I thought it was 40 something against us. Man, he was ridiculous.
Yeah. I played PB Squad twice. Each time that shit was close, but we couldn't bang it out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And y'all didn't even have Burka. I don't know. Burka didn't want to do the league. That's that Shucklax homie. Because Burka was balling. When it was them three in the last tournament, they were doing pretty good.
Well, a lot of people, and that's what I'm saying, like, because we didn't really know what to expect from the league, and what we had up to that point was just, hey, be here all day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why if we get this,
You want the one-on-ones.
I really want the distinct time.
So here's the thing about the one-on-ones. The one-on-ones
is dope.
Is dope, but it doesn't give us a tiering system like the tournament brackets do for points.
If we do this, what if we do half-hour games against 2 teams?
So best 2 out of 3 against 2 different teams.
30 minutes apiece. Doom.
But then what? Do we do it based on record then, not points?
We should, I don't know, at that point it would almost, depending on how many games per week in the weeks we had, would be like,
Until they got to 9. We could set one-on-ones in Discord and just have them be scrims. One-on-ones. Oh, like mano-y-mano? Because, okay, so Kai was saying we keep everyone's scrim record. Well, I'm almost thinking if we did, because I kind of liked the pickup game element. So here was something that the tangent we were going to go down, but we never went down when Gilbert was here. There was a fucking, there was this idea that it could be almost like King of the Hill, where a team goes, and maybe this is how you get your points. You can almost, it's kind of weird, but you could be like, the Grumpy Gentlemen are up at noon, okay? And the Grumpy Gentlemen go up at noon, and then the next team, and we could do it based on their ranking even. We'd be like number 1 seed, and then number 2 plays them, and then whoever wins, number 3 plays, and then number 4 plays, and number 5 plays, and you go into rotation or something like that until you win X amount in a row or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but it would let a team that's playing, they wouldn't do best 2 out of 3. It would be heads up. So it'd be like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
If you and I played, and then you lost and I played somebody else, and I played until I lost or won X amount of games, and then the next team was played until they lost.
Like a pickup game?
Exactly like a pickup game. And that's, but also, with that aside, so mull on that, but what potentially
for a league week?
Yeah, something like, I don't know, like, I just, that idea, because then someone gets to sit there and play as long as they're doing well, but then we cap it so they're not just playing the whole day.
Right.
You know, and then, right? And then, so when we cap it, though, they get like max points or something.
Right.
Like they get 20 points or whatever the fuck. And then another team has a shot, and you get points based on your wins or something.
Time frames. That's the only thing. How do you tell somebody to be
right,
there when...
I don't want to play the whole day.
Well, there you go. Well, I mean, if there was 100 trophies, we'd be in business. We'd be running tournaments. We just didn't want to overwhelm people. That's why we did it every other week too.
I like playing all day low key though.
Yeah.
See, so there are some people that like the tournament thing because it is all day.
Right.
So it's, you know what it is?
Street
It's
Outlaws. We have to set that up or watch that.
What is it?
Street Outlaws. You recommended to.
Oh, that sounds like how Street Log. I don't know if you've seen the show. No, it's just pick up basketball is what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It sounded like to me.
And you could come through with any team. So then
I mean, that's something we could just do on the off weekend. Like, hey,
no, absolutely,
we're gonna be here on the off weekend,
and that's why we wanted those.
Come in, and now you can scrimmage like, oh, shoot, this team's gonna be there.
And what about time commitment, right? Like, because we were saying every other weekend for 2 reasons. One, for our own personal time, but I mean, we're gonna do shit. The idea was that we could work other shit in on Saturdays. We could play around with other kind of games or even stuff. Non-game related
Just
things.
Leave it open, opportunity.
Exactly.
Not overwhelm everybody.
Mm-hmm. And another was the people who play in the tournaments time commitment.
Right.
You know, is every weekend too much? Is having to where you need to be available like Monday, Wednesday, or Friday for an hour or something, but then that's got to work with everyone's work schedules.
and time zones.
Time zones. So here's the thing, though, too, with the points.
Mm-hmm.
A tournament system / league system that supports picking up subs that aren't on your team would just allocate points individually to people based on their win-loss record, regardless of what team they're on. But then what we would get into is a situation where in Kanna games we'd be making teams based on individual players' points, and it wouldn't be actual teams playing that were in the league playing. You get what I mean? There wouldn't really be teams at that point. It would just be people playing in games on teams. You get what I mean? There wouldn't be like franchises, because it'd be more like a pickup game, but each person gets points based on the result of each game they play.
I mean, that's really dope. It's just the amount of tracking.
Every single person that plays gets a fucking point, and as long as that happens at the time, like that.
And then points. What, like, so if you win, you get it, or?
Yeah, I guess that's what it would have to be, unless we want to really get into it.
Exactly. That's what. How much detail are we talking here?
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot of detail we're talking.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Yeah, it's the time zone's been rough, ending at 11 to midnight, and that's starting at 1.
See.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, one of the PP squad members is a random pickup.
So would you?
Nuv, that dude, he had fans too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to have a set time, like where you play for an hour at a certain time? This is when I'm playing this week against this team, or these two teams potentially.
Which we could set that up, because we could overlap, right? So like one team would come in at noon, and then the other team. So 2 teams would come in at noon. Well, no.
2 teams come at noon, and then one team, whoever wins, can stay on the sticks and play their timeout, right? And then the other team's gonna have to take a break for 15 minutes while they play the other team, or the 2 losers could play each other. You know what I'm saying? You could have little brackets.
Remember that
4.
round robin style we played?
Exactly.
That took an hour, and that was 3 teams playing.
Yeah.
A series of 5 games.
Yeah.
You had to lose twice to get out.
And then you could have brackets of 3 or 4 teams. There's 12, right? So 3 different brackets, and then you just play inside this bracket or whatever. And then each week we could even.
So if we played inside each, so there's so 3 mini tournaments.
Conference. Yeah.
So like 3 mini tournaments on a weekend, and then you know that your tournament's going to be from this time to this time, and it's only a couple hours.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? The longest part of the whole tournament was getting everyone to join. Exactly. And so that's on us, because it should have been proper communication and stuff. So that's on us, and we'll try to help fix that. We've got to recruit as many people as possible to Discord and the Facebook group, because those are it's going to be easiest for us to communicate with people, because we can post on Instagram, but not everybody sees that.
Right.
We could tweet or Facebook or whatever, but on the group, Facebook group, you'll see it because they push that.
Yeah.
And especially because you can tag the group as a primary or pin it, and you'll see it all the time. Or the Discord, obviously. And those things are just super. Those just streamline the communication, and so setting up games and shit. Right. But that's on us, and we'll fix that. So that's the longest time thing. But having the set times though also helps that. And I kind of like this 3 mini bracket thing. So like,
I like that,
because it brings all the elements together, kind of, right? We could do, and these brackets are 2 out of 3. So that's third.
We can figure out time wise what we want to.
Well, let's see. So 2 out of 3, that would be 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. So.
And then loading time 10 minutes.
91:35. So we're talking about 150 minutes or so. 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
2.5 hours for a little round. That's an easy commitment, right? And then it's only 4 teams that we've got to organize for then, and then and those other teams know that their time is this time.
So here's my thing though.
Okay.
So the mini brackets, 3 of them. What happens? 3 winners, and then we have another mini bracket to see the winner of the week. Because who's gonna be
number
first
1 points?
place? Yeah.
We don't give the same amount of points out to people. But we'd be playing the same 3 teams though. Not every time. No, I think we should rotate them out.
Yeah, that's a whole nother element.
Yeah.
That we could do.
Mm-hmm. I think we definitely rotate them out. And while every team won't play every team, it'll give every team the opportunity.
So I had this idea. With something I was thinking about these brackets. What if you took the best player, the best team, and the worst team out of the 3 brackets, and you switched them after each week?
What do you mean?
So, like, let's say we had the worst team statistically and the best team. You switched them, whatever their brackets are.
Like you gave the worst team a bye?
No. So you have the 3 brackets, right, of 4 teams, right?
Okay.
And inside those 4 teams, so let's say this is the best team, and this is the worst team over here. And you would switch them the next week.
Well, you won't have to switch because there's 3 of them.
So the team, right? So whatever, right? So the best and the worst, right? So the dude that dominated this bracket would be gone.
He'd have to go into a new bracket.
And he would go into
the
a
guy
new
who
bracket
sucked up one bracket
with the dude that sucked. The team that lost and was not very good at that time. They would go into a bracket with the 3 losers, with the 3 people that had lost, and they would go into a bracket with 3 people that were more dominant than this team. So it would if you kept doing that.
So we might end up with a bracket that's got the top
all the dominance, and then all the weaker ones would fall off into the other brackets.
But then those other brackets would be getting more points.
No, they would it would just be.
They'd all be getting the same points.
No, you would just when you win and went into the team bracket, you would just be in there.
So then we wouldn't have 2 dominant teams potentially in this one. This would almost be 3. So like. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
And then what do they go into a round robin?
And
that takes an hour.
And then this is I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think
that takes an hour. Yeah.
Round robin takes an hour. I think instead of 3 brackets, it should just be 2 different brackets with 4 teams.
Well, but
there's 12 teams.
We got 12 teams.
There's 12 teams, Kai.
You can't take offense to any of this. Does that mean I'm not making any sense?
No, because he wins every time. Except the Search and Destroy tournament, Clout. Don't try to play us.
So time-wise, the players just need to be ready to play or make it faster. So you will be playing the same 3 teams though. So
that's back.
Oh, that's back.
We talked. All that talk was after that.
After that, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So
I'm behind my guy.
Those 4 teams turn into 2.
Oh, they're saying condense 4 teams down into 2, and make it just 10 teams.
Wait, what?
Oh, what's he saying?
Never mind that. Okay. Well, I don't know what. Okay. Say what is new now, Kai.
Right.
Chat's over.
Right.
Where it's refreshed.
Fresh. Okay.
All right.
So, but then you potentially. So then the next bracket, let's say. This guy's the best and this guy's the worst. You would switch them again, and you would have this guy go into a bracket and same shit. You know?
Yeah. Or you'd have like the bad one from here going to here, and the good one from here go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then 12 teams, 3 brackets of 4. Then they thin out to 2.
And they thin out to 2.
So. Oh, right, and then we have because they each play heads up, and then there's 2, 2, 2.
Oh yeah, because it's an equal amount. You're right.
But then there's 6 though, and then 1 team each from the 2. Yeah, and then 1 team each from the 3 brackets. Right. Then we have 3 winners. We have 3 winners of brackets, and then those teams play in a double elimination round robin.
Right here. Okay.
What happens on the top of each?
So that means that's looking. So how many more games is that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's an hour.
But these are singles.
These are singles, so these will be quick.
So like these are 2 out of 3s.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So
okay. So that switching thing may have to happen from week to week.
Yeah, week to week.
Yeah, this isn't gonna. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about on the day?
No. But I just wanted
week to week
I just
for
wanted
sure
to clarify that.
So you would just like on the show that we're at right now, we would be like, this is the bracket for next week. And they won. They move here.
And then we can even do 2. Maybe we can think it's the 2 bottoms and the tops. We can figure something out.
Right. Okay. Well, hold on. Let's see what they're saying. What happens? Yeah, that's the move. I like that. Yeah, the round robin double elimination. And so then you would know. So here's the thing too, and that's why you need more than 4 people on your roster, because if you've got to play the morning game, then you can't be there, and you got to have your sub, but then you guys win and you're going to play in the round robin, then you got your A squad for the round robin or whatever.
Right. And I think another thing we should do with these teams, I think the teams should we should get some preferences.
What do you mean?
Some preferences like, hey, when does your team can your team be together? When does your team be, because we can get
because these brackets don't matter in order. We can set them at whatever time. So if these teams are available in the morning, then they're playing the bracket.
And they'll play in the morning.
And we can switch it around. And we'll try to make it as to where everyone. We want everyone to play everyone.
Exactly.
But if time frames dictate or whatever. 30 minutes before the tourney starts, you all should have a check-in with all the players.
30 minutes before the tourney? Well, if we're gonna go to time zones, here's the thing. That would definitely work with the way we've been running it before. But if we go to time zone, that would mean somebody, or have time slots. That means somebody who plays at the last time slots checking in 30 minutes before the first is essentially what we've already had.
Kind of, sort of. But, I mean, just to make sure everyone knows, so you know ahead of time who's not here.
Like do messages?
Yeah.
Or like you gotta send in your roster.
Up.
Like this is playing. That's what. So that's another thing we were talking about. When should a team have to commit to this is our roster for this week? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, is it the day before? Is it like the Monday before? Like, how long should you get to like switch out your team and sub, or should you have to know your schedule?
So this is kind of what this is what I was thinking when we set it up, was that it would be like you sign up to 6 people. You sign up 4 to 6 people, expecting to play at least 3 people every week, and you sign them up at the beginning of the league or at league registration. Then week to week, you can only use those 6 people or less.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is extra on top of that, each week they submit, these are our 4 starters?
I was thinking that, but now it kind of seems excessive.
Well, except for it makes them accountable to their attendance.
That's what I said that.
So
instead of the check-in, maybe by a certain time you have to have your roster.
Thursday you have to submit your roster.
Something.
Or
like
whatever.
You're going to be ready. Your time slot, you guys said you're ready at the later time slots, afternoon. So
no roster changes after 2 days. So here's the thing then. Well, okay, so I was going to say, well, then how do we track? Because then we're talking about having people's teams change often.
So that would delete sub. That would get rid of subs, right? But eventually, like if I'm subbing for a team and
eventually you're going to be on the squad.
Hopefully, you would like.
You find a team.
Squad. You find a team.
So, and that's kind of what I think after League One, and even after Season 1, or even mostly through Season 1, we'll get to that, and we'll have pretty set teams, I think.
Right.
Because people are just going to be around, and some people are going to continuously play.
Pick up or drop off, or come back or whatever.
Plus, we also wanted to open. So here's something else too. We wanted to reopen league registration after every tournament. And what that would do is that would potentially bring, because we hope for the league to get better and better and more people want to join. And so we could get people to join mid-season, right? But they would be playing at a point disadvantage because y'all have been getting points this whole time, right? And so it would be harder for them to rank, but if they did really well, they could still rank.
Unless they came in and balled out for a league tournament, which at that point they would deserve.
Well, not even the tournament. Well, because if they win a tournament, they would
league weeks.
I mean, yeah. Gotcha.
League weeks.
No. It's not. So actually, Cloud, the KGL is separate from the Kanna Krew, and we're making that important. And so we are going to try to get attendance up.
Yeah.
That is a goal. So that we are going to use some kind of advertising deal. So it might be hard. We wouldn't necessarily be able to advertise the trophies explicitly. Mm-hmm. These are trophies. But we could say there's trophies, and if we just use, we're creative in that angle. So we'll
figure it out.
So we're trying.
We're working on it.
So I'm find my full team. I'm trying to find 4 all-stars. Yeah, 3 all-stars. Because you got 1 already. I don't know. You and Shuck do pretty well together. It seems like.
Did we play them? They smacked
You
us,
were
huh?
on their team.
Oh, I was on their team?
Smoking
Oh,
Rushes.
yeah. Oh, yeah, we were balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we balled out that one game.
So
That
here's
was
the
a good
thing.
team, dog.
So here's the
That was a good
thing:
team.
is these captains. We need these 12 people to commit to captains. Now here's the thing: is like when we talk about these teams switching out and stuff, we're literally talking about half of the league because half of the league is set. Like E-Money, Misfits, fucking Grumpy Gentlemen's, Blasted Blasters. They belong to the streets, and the Undertokers are set teams, and 9 Inch Males. That's 7 out of 12 actually. So 7 out of 12 aren't really going to have roster changes like that. Like it's going to be rare.
They're set.
Yeah. 5 of the teams though are in flux.
Right.
And I mean, literally 3 out of those 5s are crowdsourced teams. Right. So, that's just kind of where we're at. So let's see. The public. Oh, all right. Grumpy Gentleman is no more. Oh, really? Grumpy Gentlemen dropped out altogether of the league and are being replaced by the PP squad. Is this real, Clout? I'll reach out to Spiro.
Well, they
obviously,
can't be replaced. Their spot. Did they win a tournament? They won the.
No, they won Canada Games 1.
They won Canada Games 1, so they don't.
And Shuck and Dig Bick were on the team.
Okay.
Right? And then Spiro and Clout.
Okay.
And they won Canada Games 1. Bam. In the
Right,
books.
right.
Champions.
Champions, right.
Right? Super Bowl
First
1
Canada
is
Games.
them.
Super Bowl 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Grumpy Gentlemen.
Super Bowl 1.
The originals with the old logo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No.
it's possible that. I mean, Clout would know if Grumpy Gentleman is no more. And
Yeah.
so if you're in as PP Squad, then you're in. So,
it's PP Squad. Okay.
So what the question is, this pickup mentality. Now, if there was like 12 team owners, right, franchise league people, then they're just responsible for their teams, and like in any other sport, the rosters switch around. But it's the team that carries the record,
Yeah.
right?
So do you want to own a team in the Canada Games?
Well, I mean,
How do
we
you go
kind
about that?
of have that. So we have the 12 registered teams, and then of the 5
But
that are
nobody
in
like
flux,
owns them.
right? But I
So
mean,
it's
we have
more
the
like a
captains.
captains,
We just need
right.
people who are gung ho for their team.
Yeah,
You know
don't
what I mean?
really
And
own
just
them.
want
Don't
their
really own them.
team.
Just like
They
team
just want their
captains.
team to succeed, and they'll hustle for their team.
Right.
And they'll recruit people, and
Right.
we can help them recruit if they need it.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can communicate and get them the info ASAP.
I got you, Clout. So you just do your thing, Clout. What sounds dope, Kai? We've got.
You can change your names if you want. It's still gonna be the same team, I guess.
Well, no, because so Clout was the only one from GGC that played on the PP squad.
Right.
Like
well,
Spiro
they said,
didn't play.
well, they said the name was just kind of thrown together.
The PP squad. Well,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm saying they can change their name. They'll keep their points.
Oh, yeah,
Like, they
totally.
can change their
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
keep their points.
Yeah. Okay. They're being team captain in charge of rosters for each team. Yeah. So what we did in the past was when we created these random teams out of individuals that signed up that didn't sign up as teams. What we did is we put them into the fucking. They were just picked at random, and we just said, here's the people on your team, figure it out.
Right.
Right. And a couple of real teams that we have now formed out of that.
Right.
Okay. But this time what we did is we decided to go. We didn't have as many individuals sign up for the last tournament. It was mostly teams, and then even for league sign up, it was the same situation. So we took it was like 15, 16 people, and we split them into 3 teams, and then you, I, and Gilbert became captains, so that we had someone on the teams that was dedicated and that was just responsible for those 4 or 5 people.
Right.
And that worked out to an extent.
They did.
I mean, because we just across the board had attendance issues, so like.
And we didn't really
With what
have
we had.
didn't really have them that kind of picked out yet, the team leads yet.
Right, it was. Exactly.
So I think with that's something. We kind of figured that out the first tournament. You just invite the first guy, and then they invite the rest of their team, as opposed to having.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's growing. It's getting better every time.
Exactly.
That's something we figured out now.
Exactly. But then, so then if we had the captain set up and the team set up, right, and these teams don't change, but the rosters potentially do, then what we would do is say, because there's 2 weeks in between, we'd be like, by Saturday, the week before, that off week, you need to have your complete 6-man roster
That's what I was
done in the off week. So you have 7 days after your game to figure out your
I was
roster.
even thinking Monday. Give them 5 days. I was thinking that, but Sunday, Monday, for whatever.
Well, because the game's on Saturday, so I was thinking Saturday to Saturday.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Monday. I was
Friday?
thinking Monday to Saturday.
What do you mean Monday to Saturday? Oh, like Monday before the game
Yeah. You
I
gotta
see.
have your shit.
by Monday.
So like you never know, man. You know, some people get their schedules for work the next week on Monday.
I feel that, and then they're booked on
You
Saturday.
know what I mean? So we gotta kind of give them some love.
That's what we're doing, Kai. I'm trying, working them kinks out. We got okay. So we have them where they can schedule out there, and so the teams can change now. So maybe what we do though is we do something like your team week 3 is your same, like we cut off roster changes at some time, so your team week 3 is the same team you play in the tournament with. Well, no, because anybody can register in the tournament, so you could come with 3 different people.
Yeah. But the Kanna games. So here's the thing about the Kanna games. We want the teams that win the tournament,
like those 4 people.
those 4 people, to be in the Kanna games. Like
I think maybe we should afford them 1 sub. I was not down with
1.
letting them sub, but I think that maybe we should be like,
+1.
if one of you, because like, I mean, God forbid, one of them dies,
Right.
then they can't play in the Kanna games. And I was like, my brother died and I can't play in the Kanna games.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up. Yeah. So let's give them 1 sub. They can switch someone off their roster for the 1 time, but then that's 3 out of 4 on the team that's still there, right?
At least.
Because what we don't want,
We'll just go 75%.
we just don't want. Well, I don't know. I mean, after Zodi came in and did that, I'm almost not so opposed to it. But I just didn't want Ninja to come in,
I just don't
dominate the tournament, win the Kanna games.
No, Kanna games has to. Kanna game has to remain authentic because it's the whole thing is built on value of playing each week, getting the points, doing that. We can't have somebody just come in
1 time and
smack the Kanna games, because then the Kanna games is nothing else.
Even if you win even if Ninja comes to win the Kanna games, the quickest way is to win the tournament and then win the Kanna
if they
games.
want to do that,
If you
win
do
the
that, we
tournament.
get Ninja twice, fine. Zodi comes twice, fine.
Yeah, if you come in there and do
Yeah.
it twice, like we see you coming and know
Yeah.
you're coming, like
You
we
did
can't
it.
stop you. Then we got game tape on you. Like there's no excuse.
Right, only season bets. So here's an interesting thing about the way we set it up that we noticed right away, which I think is super cool. And this, they all like, wild card placing and playoffs. This is kind of the discussion.
Right.
So there's the 3 tournament winners and then the top 5 league players or teams, right?
Right.
In the Kanna games. If a league team wins the tournament, then what happens is that league team is the 3rd one, and then now teams 2 through 6 from the league get into the Kanna games.
Yeah.
So if all 3, which is not going to happen because a league team already won,
Didn't play.
a non-league team won the tournament already.
And they said they're not
But
gonna play.
potentially, if 3 league teams won the 3 tournaments, then the Kanna games would just be the top 8 league teams.
Or if that team that won that first tournament doesn't show up with at least 3 players for the Kanna games, we're going deeper into the league too.
Right.
So that's why the league is so important to get into
the
and
Kanna
win
games.
and play points, because
Yeah.
you could be 7th place and potentially a team won and a team drops out, and you're in the Kanna games playing for something nice.
Yeah.
Something nice. It's gonna be so nice.
Yeah.
I can't
Totally,
wait. I
totally.
can't wait. It's amazing.
All right, here. I gotta take a piss.
Alright. I'm gonna smoke.
Handle that.
Alright.
Oh, and we got carts in the thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been, man, hitting that sativa. I'm gonna try this indica right now. See how that goes. 7:30 where I'm at. I don't have to be to work till 10 o'clock, so I can smoke a little bit. I had a rough week.
Yeah, that piece next to the water, dope as fuck. How much they cost? This one, the Zubler. This has got to be
The
what
water
it's
bottle.
Which one, the blue dot, or it's got to be the Zubler? Because I'm looking at the screen. The blue dot's kind of hard to pick out. Yeah, the Zubler.
Zeller?
These Zublers, oh man, I want to say.
And that's the small one.
Yeah, this is the middle size.
This is the middle.
But it's the smallest one that's on the website now.
Yeah.
There are smaller sizes that aren't on the website yet. This is like, I want to say like 225 to 250, somewhere in there. And the bigger one's a little more. But there's that. Make sure you go register on the Kanna Krew website and check out the accounts page. There's a coupon. There's a Zong and a Blue Dot coupon in there you can use for being part of the Kanna Krew. So I'm gonna rip this shit.
Rip it.
Or rip it. KannaKrew.com, there it is.
Drop the link on.
Oh yeah, the Zubler, they call it the Lazy Man. So check it out. I don't even gotta pick it up. I'll show you. KannaKrew.com is where you get the coupon. That's not where they sell them. Zone Glass, obviously.
Zong Glass. Yeah, Zong Glass. That's where you get the coupon when you join the crew.
When you join the crew, you get
Kanna
the coupon.
Krew.
The Kanna coupon.
I don't have a shirt on there.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing the Kanna.
Slacking. He's got the Kanna. Is it the live? Is it the?
No, because the webcam isn't.
Is it straight?
Yeah.
Bad. So live would be.
Live would be
I
backwards.
need a mirror. All right.
Bet, and you go peep all that. Yeah, it's cool. We got some shit. So, and what we're gonna do too. So here's the thing about the Kanna games. We're gonna put some money into it for the cash prize. That amount is to be determined, but we're gonna get league swag. Like all the teams, we're gonna make team swag. We're gonna get team logos, unless you got your own, and all the purchases on the fucking league swag, or all the purchases on the Kanna Krew website with the certain coupon will contribute to the fucking cash prize. So there you go. Oh, you gotta put shit out there. I've learned from doing the lives that you gotta be repetitive because not everybody sees everything. Yeah. So, alright, there's some shit popping off there, but I think
All right.
we kind of covered everything.
4 brackets
Yeah.
with the teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do this based off of last week's ranking, right? So we'll probably do like 1, 2,
I didn't see
3.
that. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to cop some smoking roaches here. Oh, you didn't see that, cop? Sorry, Don.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna put team gear on the website. So all the leagues we're gonna make logos unless you submit a logo, but your logo can't have like copyrighted material. So that roaches thing, I'm gonna have to look that up because he sent that. He sent me a sticker and I made the thing off of it. So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna make team swag, and all the purchases on the Kanna Krew website and possibly other ones that we bring in, Blue Dot. If you use the coupon code that we have specific for the league, you'll get not only to get a discount, but a percentage of your order will go towards the cash prize for Kanna Games 2. So that's kind of how we're setting that up, and we're gonna put some money in the pot. That amount is to be determined. That's all you missed, Cloud. And info about the Zubler, unless that's what you wanted. I got info on the Zubler too. But if you so what we were just talking about, this is kind of what we came
how
to.
Do we want to do so the different brackets,
Mm-hmm.
right? 4 teams, and I was saying we could break it down like how they ranked 1, 2, 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you do? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Oh, the ranked teams that go into those brackets.
How they went from last week's, and just put them and then break them down so they're kind of even,
Mm-hmm.
starting off with, and then we'll play
I
that.
gotta learn Photoshop to make my logo look dope. Ah, dope. Yeah, what is the website to sign up for? To sign up a team? Are you switching teams?
No, I think
Crispy?
he's talking about for the Kanna Krew, I think, to get the discount.
Oh, we got discounts. The
No,
coupon,
the Kanna Krew, because I sent
the league discount. Wait,
No, I think he's talking
clarify
about.
where.
Oh, a team. He said a team.
Yeah, you said a team.
For the tournament, July 25th.
The July 25th tournament,
Well, he's talking about for the league.
or for the league.
Yeah, when can you get in a league team?
He's on a league team, so this is because we kind of just restructured. So we kind of gotta, I don't know, we gotta think about how we're gonna move, what we're gonna do moving forward, point wise. Are we distributing points? Are we accepting new teams? Are we? I think new teams coming in is okay because they're gonna be playing at a disadvantage.
Each week?
But see, then that's the thing is week to week. So what we were thinking is that the teams were gonna come in post tournament.
Oh, so the next time they would play would be July 25th.
They can play in the tournament on July
But then
25th
we
or
made-
14
but then
days
we made
afterwards.
a team yesterday on the spot.
But apparently
Which one?
replaced,
Was
but
just
it
Grumpy
replaced
Gentleman.
Grumpy
It
Gentleman.
was just Grumpy Gentleman. Okay.
It was Grumpy Gentleman and then just turned into, because
Yeah.
they had internal issues.
Yeah, there you go.
My friend wants to sign up a team for the league. Okay, kannacrew.com/game. kannacrew.com/game. So,
because then here, think about this.
that's going to give us 13, but we already might lose a team or something.
Because, I mean, you get double disqualified. You're on the fucking thin
Shit
ice.
list?
You're on fucking thin ice.
Like, you
bro.
just don't show up for a
You
week.
miss that first game, you're fucking out. You don't even get a chance to go to the 3 straight games, you're out.
I mean, 3 straight games.
If you miss two DQs straight the first week, and then the next week, you DQ that first week, do you even get to go to the next week? The two, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
No, I get you. Okay. Yeah, no problem. What's good with
Well, we're gonna
you?
have
You're still
communication this week. We're gonna have different communication team captains this week. So it was bad communication. So we'll wipe
So
that.
that's
out.
exactly.
That's okay.
So we're right. So that's kind of what I'm saying is like, remember how we had those exhibition rounds
Mhm.
in that first tournament?
So how about they can't? I mean, I don't know if they can join the league, but they can join our. We can do some exhibition round robin. If they
But
wanna
I'm
get into
thinking
round
like at
robin.
this point, I don't know because I don't know, man, because we had so many subs and all that kind of shit. Like, do we want to make something where you gotta, if you pick up a sub, you gotta roll with them on the roster to the next week?
I don't
Or
know about that. No, if you missed a dude and picked up a sub, then you picked up a sub. If they didn't land on the team, then they're a sub this week for a new team.
but
You know?
what about subs from other teams?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, theoretically, what if Zodi subs on somebody's team and then they beat everybody that that team did really reserve to win, or?
If Zodi is jumping on different teams with different players and just winning every tournament with a new set of persons, then that team's gonna get the 9 points, 8
Then
points,
whatever.
then
Then
whatever.
Zodi picks.
Yo, then he's gonna then it's just gonna be a tournament.
Then a
of
team.
who's
Then who's gonna
have
beat Zodi?
Exactly.
So then a team's
Like, come
a
on.
super team will form.
With all that tape, man, there's tape, man. You guys are underestimating the tape. I'm underestimating the tape. There's tape out there now.
There is tape.
There's tape.
And
Right?
I'll clip all the shit. I did
Yeah.
another one about I got this.
Yeah.
But
And I think even for like you clipping and doing stuff, it's like, okay, this 45 minutes is this team and done, done, done.
what do you mean?
Not like, oh, okay, this team played 10 minutes here and then wait, they played 13 minutes over here.
No, I just go match by match.
Match by match.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
yeah.
it would be easier to kind of get to a team and say, okay, this is their
like
video.
one team.
Instead of having to click 3-4 videos.
Yeah, but then I'd have to make like that's different because I definitely want the matches they've.
So if they play for a straight hour, it's just going to be that 45 minutes. And then you clip it, video, 50 minutes.
I don't know. Okay, hold on. Candy League, sign up. Discord, voice chat, better communication, swag, merch. Hey, supports Candy Games. Yes, it does. We're gonna have to use a
Appreciate
coupon
you, bro.
though. Maybe we should just. I don't know. That's a discussion for another time though.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
For the Kanna games too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about that. But yes, everything Trilky said just now on point. So.
And much appreciated.
Oh yeah, 100%. That goes without saying for me. We don't have any of this if y'all aren't fucking riding this stream out right now,
Right,
and everything else.
Right.
So,
Right.
fucking. All right. So what we've gotten to then is 2 out of 3 mini brackets, set times, set about 2.5 to 3 hours apart on every other Saturday.
And what I like about this is actually, if we wanted to, we could just do one verse 12 or whatever, right? Right?
What do you mean?
Like, so you have the 4 teams in each bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So this team is 1, this team is 12, this team is what, 2 and 11. You see what I'm saying? Like a playoff
like
bracket.
seeding, yeah.
Yeah, and then it come. You know what I'm saying? So then you'll end up with what, the 7 and the 6 and the 7 or whatever it is, or the 5 and the 6.
Right.
Right.
So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5, 6, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But then you have 1 and 10 instead of 1 and 12.
So then you potentially, whoever the best team is, so let's say 2 comes out to be the best team and 12 is the worst team, so then 2 is now in this bracket and 12 is now in this bracket. So now 1 and 2 are now in the same bracket.
No, like you said, it's gonna work out.
It's gonna be tough.
They're gonna, but see, so now what we're talking about is that. But then are we taking that? Because what we had okay, so that's taking the seeds into consideration, but the seeds are gonna change every week, and the shift is gonna happen every week.
Exactly.
But that means that 1 and 2 won't be in the same bracket every time, anytime, because we're distributing 1, 2, 3 every week.
We're redoing it every week.
So the switching means there's no seeding.
No seeding.
Well, there is seeding,
so
but
that would be, so we'd have to seed them. Yeah. So then never mind. No need to switch. We could do it.
we just have 1, 2, 3, 4.
We could even do it by Kanna games scores for the Kanna games. Like if you win 2 weeks and you got.
Oh, like point accumulation?
Yeah.
Like we make well, seeding is points though, right? So do we put the top 4 point getters in one bracket?
Would it be from the week before, or the top point getters
Total.
overall?
I think total.
Overall?
Well, I guess that's a good conversation to have.
Maybe that's a vote for
So you make the bracket around what rank all the teams are. That's kind of what he's talking about. Even though if that was the thing, it would be a far future. Apex tournament. So okay, Clout. That's good to know because we've had people talk about Fortnite. We've had people talk about Counter-Strike. We've had people talk about Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Warzone kill race. Okay. We definitely want to do a Warzone. We definitely want to do a Warzone, like really bad. Like really bad. We want to put all the teams on the same map.
Everybody at one time.
Guys
Everybody at one
play
time.
it out. Yo, we want to do that so bad, like you don't even know.
Yeah,
so,
Tony Hawk would be dope, right?
So yeah, oh man, any game, Tony Hawk, they're remaking it. I saw the remade Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. If it's anything like those, it's gonna be.
Oh sick. Shit! Where's making a team? Shit's going down. Okay, so
it's going down.
Can I make one? Okay. Activision needs to make a custom server for Warzone. Oh shit. Yeah.
What did you say?
Activision needs to make a custom server for Warzone.
No, I think they're coming. They just made a big. The update was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Some people probably fell out because they didn't have their updates. Like think about.
Well, you're one, homie. The dude who was on your team.
Yeah, think about you hop on and you have a 7-hour update right before you're supposed to play. You quit. You're ghost. You're ghosting it.
Yeah.
You're ghosting it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that kind of came out of nowhere. We knew it was coming a couple days before, but I didn't think it would be a big deal. But it was a bigger deal. It was a bigger. It was a huge update. I knew it was an update. I should do more research on that too. Yeah, that would be dope.
So, okay, So I think how do we want to do new team registration? And we kind of got to consider this. Do we want to set a rule for new team registration, but then potentially break the rule right now because of the fray of week 1?
Well, I mean, the only reason I say that makes it tough about this is that.
Because if a new team comes in week to week, they play at a disadvantage. Just like
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. If we have 13 teams, it makes it
that
really
fucks
crazy.
up our
it
shit.
makes it crazy.
It makes up our fucks up our
It
brackets.
makes the whole thing. The whole thing goes to shit. But I will say this: I'm not opposed to having. We have fucking reserve players. I'm not opposed to having a reserve team. And in 2 teams, if they blanked out twice, I'm telling you.
I get what you're saying.
And have them, y'all can be ready to fill in on the Saturday. And,
like we only take 12 teams, but if there's 14, 2 may not play.
Well, what if?
But then
what
if
if
2 people
somebody
don't show
ghosts
up,
us? What if a team ghosts us?
then we have a reserve
then we
team.
have a reserve team that could jump in, and yeah, we have a reserve team, as opposed to trying to throw a team together that day.
Right. Or get 3 subs.
Or 3, whatever.
And then if you fuck. Because here's the thing though, it's like, because like yesterday, they belonged to the streets played, right? They showed up, came through, whoop-de-doo.
They attended class.
They attended class, and then after their first loss, half the team dropped off. So they
went home early. But they were at class.
They were at class, but so they took the L against the taxmen automatically.
They missed the quiz.
They fucking took the L, like the second L, so they were out. Like they had to get DQ'd. But then Conky Dong, their captain, was still there and subbed in on the Roaches, and then you subbed in on the Roaches later.
Right.
So the thing is, like, I just feel like that fucks up the points.
What?
People from other teams subbing in, because think about this. That's his team. He's the captain. He made that team. They belong to Streets, right? So he's not going to be like, I'm staying on the Smoking Roaches now.
Was he on the team when I played?
Yep. Because he subbed in when they had Shamrocks. Then Shamrocks dropped out, and then they had 3, and then you subbed in.
He can.
He can.
But hopefully what we're hoping to get, because we have new rules in place where you got to name your team the Monday before or whatever before. So there isn't going to be a lot of team switching like that because your team's going to be ready to play. You're going to have your time slot. We're going off the faith that the whole mishap was because of miscommunication. Yeah. So that's our whole faith behind what we're doing. So we got to stick to that.
Yeah, so, right. Conky was balling though. Conky had 30 kills in one of those games. Oh. Yeah, no, he was balling.
He was balling. So what? So Smoking Roaches gets what? 2nd place, and they get what? 8 points, 7 points, whatever. You know, we'll figure that out. And
well, we was gonna be 10, and we were gonna count back by 2 or something, right?
We were count back by 4. So what I was thinking, yeah. So we had a couple plans.
Gilbert had kind of.
We had a plan to kind of go backwards by 2s, and then for the first 3, so either 10. I was thinking 9, 7, 5, and then the rest of everybody else in the league got 3. But then we were thinking about how big is the divide between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then the rest of the league. Do we want it to be 5-3 or 5-2?
Right.
1, you know what I mean? I think that should be a little bit significant. And then there was something we were talking about where you could potentially get an extra point. And that's why we didn't start off at 10 points for the league. It was 9 points.
Well, I think you just got a point for being there. Like, even bottom of the barrel, you got 1 point. Even if you lost first and you were out, you lost all your games, you did terrible, you only scored 20 points, you still get a point for showing up. And that's the difference between the DQ people and the point. Like, a DQ gets 0.
Okay.
And then you're there, you got 1. And that's what helps you later down the road when the new teams start coming in, theoretically. You get points for playing.
Okay.
Not a lot.
I think that should be higher. 2 points.
2 points or something?
2 points for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you show up for 2 weeks and you should have 4 points, if that 4 points before that team, Like if a team gets third place, it's better than that's better than you participating 2 weeks and being terrible. And them getting third place in the third tournament they should be higher points than you.
So
I think 2 points each week is fine.
Well, so 2 points is 4, and if it was 10, 8, 6, 4 is fourth place. So showing up twice is the same as getting fourth place once. But it's actually, if you showed up once and got fourth place, you actually have 6 points over the stretch. Whereas if you show up twice, you only get 4 points over the stretch.
Right.
Right? Because you get 4 in one whack.
I like that.
Fourth place is worth double.
So fourth place would potentially be.
So now we have this new system, though.
You would potentially. What would it be?
Yeah, because that's 1, 2, 3, and
So
that's
maybe
maybe
the losers play a bracket for fourth place, or shoot, fourth place doesn't get any fourth place. There's no fourth place.
Right, it's 1, 2, 3, and then this.
And then there's
tier,
a drop off.
This
2
tier,
points.
this tier, this tier.
2
So there's
points.
1, 2, 3 tiers.
10, 8, 6, 2s.
Now what about these guys?
Oh, 2s, and then they'll have 4s.
Or 3?
Or 3.
Well, no, because you win that. You just win your first round. To get here means you win 1 game.
Yeah.
To get here means you win 2 games.
So this should be higher than this. So this is 2. And then we got 10, 8, 6, 3. So
10,
that
6.
means 2 weeks of participation would be better than getting 2 weeks of losing is better than 1 week of winning. I think you gotta win.
Yeah.
You gotta win. So this is 4.
Yeah.
And this
4.
is 2.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright.
There it is. Okay, well, if the top 5 teams from the league are going to Kenny games, I think top 5 teams that win a league tournament should get points. No?
I don't know, because the special about the tournament is you win, you're in.
I think he's talking about this.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, top 5.
I think he's talking about league play.
Oh, top 5 players. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then there'd be a tiebreaker in here then. Which would mean that these teams play around, the losers in these games play around robin to determine 4th and 5th place. And then none of these people get points. But here's the thing.
No, wait.
That's what.
What do you mean none of these people?
So, because what he's saying is top 5 people get points.
And that's it.
And that's it.
So no.
Because there's 5 teams. Right. So this.
I like the participation.
You like the participation
Yeah,
point?
because incentive to show up and be on time and play.
Yeah, I feel that.
And we need that,
I feel
especially after this week, man.
I feel that.
We got.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because you don't want people to just, whatever.
I got 9 points.
Like Zodi, as dope as he is, we don't want him to come in and win 2 of them and get in.
Right, yeah.
Or something.
Like, not even that.
Win 4 out of 5 weeks and only play 4 times and win 4 times and get in type shit.
Well, just like, if you're gonna win 4 times, dude, you're gonna be in the
You're probably
Kanna
gonna be
games.
top 5.
You're gonna be in the Kanna games. Yeah.
Yeah, because what's that, 50 points?
Yeah, you're gonna be balling.
And
like
other
you're
people
balling.
are getting 2 points a game or whatever. And you got 50. It's like.
Exactly. Yo. There's gonna be a divide quick.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen quickly, yo.
And there's gonna be fight for that 5th seed and shit.
Yo, for real. So, and people are gonna have to win games, and there's gonna be videos you can go watch.
I do like
that.
that. So if someone was like this is my concern too, with adding teams throughout the league, throughout the season, right? Someone who's like I think that there is something to be said for someone who's middle of the road team that's going to be fighting for 5th place.
Mm-hmm.
They could be fighting for 5th place against, if they didn't get points, right? They potentially down the road, and we're trying to come up with hypotheticals that haven't happened, but they could be fighting for 5th place against a new team that's balling, who's trying to get that 5th place spot to get into the Kanna games, but they've only played 3 weeks. Whereas this other team who's like 50-50 or 60-40 is trying to get that 5th seed, and they've come in every week.
Yeah, so if you're coming in every week and you're 5th seed, then that means that you probably got 4 points once or twice. So you're sitting at 8 points Two.
Why? Because max is, so if there's 9 games.
There's only 2 weeks.
9 times 5.
It's only gonna be 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought it's 9 weeks of gameplay for the whole Kanna games tournament season, right?
This
There's
is
3 weeks.
league play, right?
Yeah. 3 weeks of
For
league,
each
then a
week.
tournament. 3 weeks of league, tournament.
Right. Are we gonna? Oh, so we're. Oh, okay.
What were you thinking?
I was just thinking that we're gonna do. Oh, you're gonna add. Oh, you're talking about adding the points up from all the different weeks.
Yeah, over
Okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah. So what I was saying is,
I was gonna do I was thinking a tally of each league week. So I was thinking a different way. I was thinking the same thing a different way.
okay.
Yeah.
So what the thing was, if a team's playing for 5th place overall, right, and they've been here the whole time without getting points for participation, sometimes they don't do well. Maybe they got DQ'd once, but then they like get 3rd and 2nd place and shit like that. I don't know. I guess it's I don't know. It's a lot, and I just don't know. Yeah, let me hit something. But
that indica fucking indica, and I'm over here yawning. And
we were going for a minute too.
yeah, no, I was good. The light, it got darker in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is,
cooler.
here's the 2 major questions we're dealing with right now. Are we letting new teams in right now? Are we? So I think that what we should do.
So here's what we do: we put them on standby. If the
Mm.
other team doesn't check in by Monday or the deadline, then they're in. And what happens? The other team will get their 2 points for the week that they. Or no, they don't get any points. They disqualified. They didn't tune in, and then they would have not checked in for this week on time.
So what are we saying, that there's more than 12 teams in the league, but that only 12 teams play on any given
No,
Saturday?
there's 12 teams in the league. We got 1 backup team right now. And
We don't
got
even
2
know. We
teams.
might lose. I'm telling you, we might lose. Because think about the teams that.
Well, if we lose a team, then we got a team.
Then we got a team.
Then we got a team.
Okay, so then
This is.
I guess register your team,
You gotta be team.
and your homie registers team. If that's 2, that's dope. If not, whatever. But I think that we should only consider restructuring that, because this, we can come up with that for different amounts of teams. Something similar to this game structure, but I don't think we should do it week to week. I think we should limit the restructuring. Or do you think we should have the same structure for the whole
I think
league?
No, I think that so. We got the layout for last week, the points, right? We got the points now, how we're going to do the points. So we got the points for the first week, right?
Mm-hmm.
This week, we're going to have our other game mode, right? Different game mode,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now, instead of you playing a bracket and this and that and the third, you're going to play a team. And if you win, you're going to go into a 3-team
Round
robin, right? Or no, we're not. We're doing. You win a game. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna play another game,
Mm-hmm.
and if you win, you go into the round robin.
These are each 2. These games are 2 out of 3 switching game modes.
2 out of 3 switching game modes.
Right? Or no?
I hadn't really thought about it.
Well, that's kind of, so if we did, well, okay, yeah. Well, oh yeah. So, because what's going to end up happening, this should be like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
This would be different. This wouldn't be 2 out of 3 switching game modes. This would be
double elimination,
round robin switching game modes. But it wouldn't be 2 out of 3 every time. It'd be 1 up, 1 down type shit. It'd be like,
we're doing the switching game. Oh,
I think we should switch game modes.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that it, like he said, the point he made, you have to beat 2 teams to get to the round robin, right? Yes.
Yeah.
You beat 2 teams to get to the round robin, and then you have to lose twice to get out of the round robin. First team out is 3rd. Then there's 1 and 2, and the team who wins is 1, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what it would be is 1st, 2nd, 3rd get 10, 6, and 8 points, and then the people who won 1 game would get 4 points,
And when you win here, you get to choose. The first game you win, you get to choose if you stay on or do you make the other team play back to back after a loss.
On the round robin, like the game rotation.
I think the 2 teams that play first there should be something that rewards them for going first in that round robin.
Well, then how do we determine who goes first? We roll a dice.
I don't know.
We roll a 6-sided die, and we give 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 to a team, and we roll it twice.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know how to do it. We can figure it. Whatever you think works.
Okay, so I think you should only switch game modes if you are doing a series.
So from here to here to here.
Well, so that's what I was saying is that you would. Okay, so then distinction. You have to beat 2 teams to get to the round robin. Yes, but what I was thinking is that first game was a 2 out of 3.
Well, here's the thing I don't like about switching the game modes is because what if I'm a real good domination team and I win this first round? I have like an unnatural lead, right? Because I'm a domination team and I didn't go to
No. What I'm saying is 2 out of 3 right here.
Yeah,
so
right.
But
what if I'm a
switching
search and
game?
destroy team?
No. Like best 2 out of 3, right? Game 1's domination. Game 2 search and destroy. Game 3's hard point. Best 2 out of 3. So if your team wins domination and search and destroy, you go to the next round.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like how the game modes dictate.
But they don't. They don't, because if we said we only play domination here, then it does. Then this is the situation. But if you say you potentially play all 3 game modes every round, right?
I guess so. Depending on which game mode came first.
Exactly.
So
we flip them.
That's where each team picks one.
And that's where we do the random deal with the maps.
With the maps and stuff. Okay, wow, there
right?
we go.
What do you think?
Add that.
All 3 game modes every round makes more sense. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we do all 3 rounds, all 3 game modes. They rotate. It's random order. Teams pick maps like.
They each pick a map.
And the chat picks a map.
And then the chat picks a map for that round.
Because they were potentially playing 3 games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Picks a map for that round. So they pick Crash as the 3rd map.
I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Instead of each individual game.
Yeah, because that's a lot of picking.
That's a lot of picking. Yeah.
So
then the chat would pick the map for the round.
For the round.
So the chat's gonna pick 3 maps.
3 maps. And then one of them will be the championship match round.
Right. Okay.
Dope.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do with this first week?
We give out the points because now we know what they are.
Give out the points based on where they ranked?
Yep.
So here's the rankings. PP squad, and then we have the Smoking Roaches, and I do think we should go into more of it. Instead of you're signing up your team, you're signing up to be a captain.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for a team.
And you submit your roster by this point in time. We're gonna need communication. We're gonna set up an Instagram. We need somebody with Instagram. You guys gotta have an Instagram because we're gonna.
Well, no, because I asked them when they signed up their teams who's the person to contact and what's the best contact method. I made people sign up captains this time.
So, but everybody had an Instagram, right?
Well, some people, like Spiro, wanted to be hit up on Discord, and a couple people put their email in, like that was their preferred shit. Okay. Which I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
it's easy, and we can hit them up everywhere. Like that's kind of
yeah.
And think about this: it's going to be 12 people, and that would be the ideal situation. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, exactly. I see you typing.
So, all right, Smoking Roaches, and then we get. Oh yeah, I got
Smoking Roaches was second. Right?
Smoking Roaches was second. Then we got the 9-inch Males was third. 9-inch Males. And then, oh, you're right, I know too, good. And then we've got the Blasted Blasters. And then in the next tier, we have the Kanna Cadets, and the Taxmen.
They're all in there. All the rest of them are in there. 2 points for everybody.
Oh, 2 points for everybody else?
Yep.
So 5th place went to 2 teams. So does that mean we need a KK Taxman tiebreaker?
No, it went to everybody else that played the game. 10, 8, 6, 4.
Oh, but see, it was 10, 8, 6, 4, 2.
Right.
So that would be
So there's a bunch of teams.
So it'll be 4, 5, and 6.
There's 6 teams that should be getting 2 points.
Well, there's hella DQs.
Well,
There's 3 DQs.
3 DQs. So then there's a third team that should be getting 2 points. Oh, my team.
Well, what about the Undertokers? And they belong to the streets.
Did they play?
Yeah, so I think we're off one. So check it out. Because it's top 5, or no, it's so 10, 8, 6, 4.
Right, for the losers.
Right, but so that's
So they're 1 and 1.
there's
they get
one
4
more
points.
team that gets 4 points. So
Who?
this wait. Watch out. So it's PP Squad, Smoking Roaches, 9-inch Males, Blasters, KK Taxmen. So these get 4 points, and then everybody else gets 2.
Oh, okay.
Right? Oh yeah, that's okay. So they get 4 points. 4, 6, 8, 10, and then everyone else got 2. Here's a list of everyone who got 2 points.
Okay.
We've got the Boogaloo Crew.
Okay.
We've got They Belong to the Streets.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Undertokers. Teams that got 0.
Ooh.
Yeah, 0's rough. E-Money, so it's E-Money GN. Well, it's an E$GN. I call them E-Money. I don't know what they call themselves. And the Misfits. And the Mollies. But in the Monday Molly. So here's the thing about Monday Molly is they told me ahead of time.
Right.
So that's different. I don't think that counts as like a complete.
Like an abandonment.
Right.
So what are we giving him? So if you just.
So he doesn't get points, but he doesn't get the shit list status.
Right.
Right.
So he doesn't get. What do you mean shit list?
Well, because you
So
were talking
like,
about 3 DQs and they're fucking
they're out
toast type
replaced.
shit. Like this
Yeah.
wouldn't count as
Okay.
one because they scheduled it.
Yeah. Alright. Bye.
All right, so PP Squad.
It is decided.
First place, 10 points. Smoking Roaches, second place, 8 points. 9-inch Males, third place, 6 points. Blasters, Cadets, and Taxmen all tie for 4th with 4 points. The Boogaloo Crew, They Belong to the Street, and the Undertokers, 2 points. And then E-Money, E$GN, Misfits, and the Molly all have 0 points. So that is there, and that's the bracketing.
One without prejudice.
One without prejudice.
0
One
points
without
without
prejudice. So now when we talk about seeding, how are we going to seed these people?
Right now?
Yeah, because look, there's tiebreakers now. But there really isn't tiebreakers because the Blasters are 4th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the top 6. There's 5 going for the Kanna Krew into the Kanna.
Wait, what? Because we're talking about now we need seeding for the next tournament, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it,
So-
it doesn't matter. We're just
Well,
doing
no.
straight points because it's going to change week to week.
Yeah, it's just,
Because because now it's like this, right? So now you could potentially, like if we did 1 through 4, how
so
are
we
we
just
doing
gotta
this?
rank. We'll have the ranks, the 12s. You did the ranks last week, so however you rank them.
I ranked them based on the tournament and how far they went.
Okay, so we got pretty much this. Now we'll just have to do some deciding factors between those 3. And then
Do we make
this
them
thing.
play it out?
What, like a 3-round tournament before next week? Like
2 weeks from now?
We got 2 weeks till it happens.
And if someone doesn't want to do it, then they're just like, I mean, it's just for placement.
Right.
It's not like
I mean, we can set it up that way if we want. If everybody wants to.
tiebreaker can go to the teams with win
Win
percentage. I really like having the idea of them playing it out though.
I
you
like to
fight
play.
it out.
I like to play it out. But then here's the thing. So next week, when this team wins 2nd and this team wins 3rd, now are we setting a precedent where we're just going to be having mini
Hella
tournaments?
tiebreakers?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I mean, hopefully it's just heads up games. And it's not for points, it's just for
I mean,
seeding.
it's going to be like we can get to a potential point where it's
Where it's like we're playing a game every
games.
day.
Yeah,
because it's all even numbers.
Yeah.
If we did bigger differences, it wouldn't necessarily happen like that. Like if you get 17 points for winning first, and
we could throw some
12.
We could throw some odd numbers in here, man. We can turn this fourth into a 3 and the second into a 7, man.
Well, we want fourth.
7, or we could turn that into a 9, a 10-9 or 10-7.
Or 11.
Oh, that's why I was thinking this would be a 9. 9, 7, 5, 3, 2. And then that way there's a lot less. I mean, obviously we flip flops.
Sure. No, I got you. Yeah, no, you're right. So if we did 9. 9, 7, 6. Is there how big of a difference is it between these three teams? I'm thinking we go 9, 8, 6.
9, 8, 6. I'm down with that.
Well,
9, 8, and then 9.
You should have people do
3.
tiebreakers till the league games are down. If there are people tied around the top 5, that's when you should have them play out.
Okay.
You have people do tiebreakers till the league games.
Just wait until the end, all the way before the Kanna
Maybe
games.
like the last 3.
Like the Kanna games, if there's 3 people tied out, they can play it out then, rather than playing
Like
it
a
out
little
so
mini,
early.
like a wild card game.
Right. Placement. Baseball wild card. That'd be dope.
All right, I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But then, so we're gonna have to
That'd
know
actually be
win
dope.
percentages then, like overall win percentages or fucking because like how do we? Because we don't have an order right here. We have a hell of ties. So like there needs to be some kind of tiebreaker element.
That's gonna play out at the end when they play each other.
But I mean, so how do we rank these people for week 2?
I honestly want to know what I think it is. We got pictures of all the scores, right? I think it should be whoever had it should be ranked by biggest deficit. Like if you beat a team by 100 points,
Your last how
and
well
then
because
I beat
each
a
of these
team by
teams
10
lost.
points.
Each of these teams lost, so their loss
They're
could
lost.
dictate.
Well, both of them. If they won and lost, so if I won by 100 but I lost by 10, then that's a 90-point differential.
Oh.
And then, if you're smacking a team, you just it's better for you to just smack them and get them out of there, rather than you just playing around and shooting around.
You want to win by 100.
You want to fucking smack people. Like we want
For
competition
tiebreakers.
to be high level, high
Right.
competition.
All right. So point differences dictate. Point differences
Because how many games? 2.
dictate tiebreakers. In that week, though.
Yeah, just that week.
Teams that compete but still lose get seeded a little
Because by
higher.
next week they'll be seeded and the tournament the thing will restart itself.
Right. Okay. So I guess what we would have to do then is fucking get on the teams, squad them up. We're rolling with 12 and reserves, right?
And we have reserves.
But we have 2 shit lists right now.
2 with prejudice.
2 with prejudice.
Extreme
Yeah, let's not call them
prejudice.
shit lists.
Extreme prejudice.
But E-Money, they're good. I think that the Misfits, they
We're blaming it
concerned
on
me not being
communication.
here.
We're blaming it on
E-Money,
communication.
yeah, exactly.
We're blaming
So-
it on our communication to y'all. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna work on it, and it's gonna be better. And it's gonna be dope.
So are we switching up these points though? Are we making it 9, 8?
I think we should, just for the simple fact that
I'm thinking maybe we go 11. You know, I'm thinking we go 11, 9, 7, 4, 2, 0. No.
Yeah, we got. I mean, if we're gonna, I mean, we got a point differential now. We got a tiebreaker. A second ago we didn't.
Oh
have
yeah,
a
so it
tiebreaker.
doesn't matter. 10,
Yeah,
8,
we
6.
10, 8, 6,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck it. Okay. All right. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Those are the
Right.
well, 0 shouldn't happen unless you don't show.
Right.
All right.
And 3 of you.
3 of you get 0 points right now.
Right.
All right. So let's do a little rundown. Let me write down a rundown so we can type up a rundown and we can fucking have some shit.
All right. next tournament will be based on.
So we're switching game modes.
Like you're gonna do what's different, or we're just gonna do an announcement.
I'm saying we're right now. How is the league now?
Okay.
What is the league now?
Okay. So
Switching game modes.
well, the first
Yeah, I guess.
tournament, the first week is gonna be bracket style gameplay
12 teams.
based on tournament. Yeah, 12 teams, 3 4-team brackets, right?
12 teams. Three
bracket style
three
gameplay.
groups. This is what. Yeah, he's got it. 3 groups of 4 teams.
3 groups, 14. But like bracket style, right? 3 bracket, 4 get team.
Yeah. Yep.
3x4. What is it? Best team of each bracket playing the round robin.
Yep. Because this is one whole bracket. Because it's the first game, second game.
So yeah, this is the. And then there's a winner. Chicken dinner.
Yeah. So then, 12 teams, 3 brackets, bam. Best team of each bracket. 3 winners.
Play round robin.
Play double elimination. Round robin. Okay? 3 winners, double elimination, round robin. Points are distributed as such. So you get points go first place gets 10, second place gets 8, third place gets 6, 4, 5, and 6, because they are going to be the same, get 4 points, and everyone else 7 plus gets 2. No show, no points. Right? Okay. So then, now we're talking about, we get 12 teams are signed up. Teams equal captains in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll allow for substitutions and whatnot. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you register, you register 4 to 6 people. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, messed up people. Twice? Anyways. So teams equal captains, register 4 to 6 people. Rosters are submitted
by the deadline, and we'll figure that deadline and then put to be determined by deadline.
Well, I think we should decide right now. I mean, what are we talking, Monday or Saturday? 5 days before the game?
5 days before the game, you figure out your schedule sometime.
Your 6-man roster, right? Like, you could submit 6 people and 2 people could not show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because then you still let people's schedules and shit.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I
that
mean?
should, yeah, 16. You can have up to 6 people, and
Right, exactly.
you got to submit their names by that day. Okay, cool. And if you've submitted one the week before, you just tell us same, and we'll be good to go. We're gonna start a message board with all the people we can on
IG, Discord, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah. We just, we gotta try to.
Yeah.
So submitted by 5 days prior. Is that what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Monday before game.
League play.
I don't know. I kind of like Saturday because on this little Sunday show, we're gonna try to make a thing. It gives us something to talk about on the one Saturday before the league week.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I
On
mean?
Saturday. So
if they submit by Saturday, then we have all that worked out by Sunday, and we can announce Sunday, these are the people playing on this team, and these are the people playing on this team.
Right.
Because the Sunday after the league week, after the play, is going to be bracketing and standings and results, right?
Right.
But then the next Sunday is going to be what, right? It's going to have to be hype for the tournament, and I feel like we could potentially announce rosters then.
True.
What do you think, Kai? You're the tiebreaker right now.
No, I like it. We can roll it. I just wrote it down. Brackets instead of writing it down.
Saturday?
Yeah.
So you have to submit your team
Well,
a
I'm
week
not doing
before.
it.
Exactly.
A week before.
That's the
And
concept.
with up to 2 alternates.
Yeah, you can submit a 6-man team.
6-man team. Right.
Yeah. But those are your people.
Yeah. So come game, if
So
you
does
if
that
you
mean
have
no
4,
subs then?
no subs. I mean, if you have 4 people not show up, you taking the L.
You taking that
You're
out.
taking the L. You can play with 3 people.
Because you can play with
if half
3.
of your team shows up, then you can.
Now,
play.
if you're playing with 3, do you get a sub, or you roll with 3?
I think we eliminate the whole
sub culture.
jumping from team to team, and that dilutes. I think that dilutes it.
I think we should potentially, because there is something to that excitement, I think, and the playing with different people.
I'm not gonna lie, I like.
You like that?
Yo,
Yeah,
they were
it's
dope. They were dope.
Because it's not like you're jumping. It is you're jumping with randos, but you're jumping with randos who are mic'd up and all on the same purpose and
Right.
mental level on the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Right. So
Sometimes.
no, I feel that. Okay, but if there's only 3, I think a player on the other team should sit out.
Now I don't know if they should be penalized because your team didn't show up. I don't like that.
You know, like that.
Mm.
I get that. I get that a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
I played with
It's
3
all about
against
building a
4.
good team.
Exactly. That's
It's
what
all
we
about
want.
building a
We
good
gotta
team.
be looking at the league's overall good.
The overall health of the league, not
Yeah.
necessarily for what helps that game.
Yeah.
But so what I was going to say is on those off Saturdays, we could potentially run pickup games.
Run pickup games and you can find players.
Exactly. We
And
do
then
that
you
King of the Hill
submit, and then you
style.
can submit it.
Well, do you have the time?
Damn.
Well, we could say midnight Saturday.
Yeah, we can say
So a
about
team
it.
could go out on the
So
King
if,
of the
so
Hill
if you don't have a, so if you
and
don't
go
have
try
a
to find a
teammate
fourth
player, you
person.
can try to go find somebody on Saturday night
on Saturday and
and run
submit
a
it by
couple
midnight.
games, and then so we got to start getting people in our regimen, because then it'll be real easy for them to log in and go, oh shit.
This person's playing. We need them on Discord though, because so it can transcend games.
So Discord, not regimen, because I was.
Well, regimen for sure for Call of Duty, but we would also like, what if we do Tony Hawk?
Yeah, you're right.
And then you want to pull from that Kanna Krew pool potentially.
Right, true.
Yo, what up, Krigza? Damn, so I need to find some people ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But see, here's the thing: is we have because we can make teams out of them though. I don't say we have a list of singles who are trying to find teams, like free agent pool, but we put them on teams.
So if they don't have a team, there's plenty of teams.
I'm gonna say this.
Like my team,
Yeah.
I'd be damn sure willing to take another 2 on the roster because we played with 3. So if I had those people that want to play sitting on my 6, I could have called them in and we could have.
And honestly, we don't have to do that on Saturday too.
And if it doesn't work out with that team that week, they can go on to another team and be there until teams fill out. And then if a team fills out,
right,
there's only 2 weeks. So
right.
I mean, by that time, it's tourney time.
And
next league team, so just go make a team for the next league.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel that. Okay, so then 6-man rosters submitted by Saturday before the game. What else?
A week.
That's kind of that,
That's
right?
cool.
And
That's
then,
cool.
what else is there on the league that we didn't address in this? The
So-
map selection.
No, so there's a map. Yeah, so there's stuff that needs to happen. So there needs to be maps selected by Discord. The 3 maps for the 3 different rounds. The tiebreaker rounds.
Well, no, we're gonna have those be depicted live in the chat.
Live in the chat.
Like at the beginning of the game, like the beginning of the day, whoever's in the chat will. I mean, even if it's just Kai in there, like we'll have people in there from multiple teams, people who aren't playing. You know, we have people come to our shit,
Right.
and we could fucking pop it up 20 minutes before while we're setting everything up
And do
talking
like
to
a
people.
vote thing.
Yeah, and just hit everybody up.
Okay.
and have it be not each team should pick a map. Yeah, each team picks a map, but then it's 2 out of 3. So then the crowd picks that third map.
The crowd picks
for the round. Are you saying the chat picks the red for it? Yeah. So each team picks a map,
and then the crowd picks the tiebreaker.
Yep. Each team picks a map each round.
Yeah, there's 3 rounds.
Each round.
Wait, hold on. So
yeah, because
there's the first
if
round.
you're watching tape though?
There's there's 4 rounds. So there's the first round, then there's the winner loser, and then there's the winner and the loser. So there's 4.
Well, no, the losers aren't playing because we put the losers all get the same points now. Losers all get 4 points in that round, right? 4, 5, and 6 all get the same amount of points, so they don't need to play.
Oh, they don't need to play. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would happen is, yeah, every time there's a matchup, and then so each team picks a map each round, and then the chat picks the third map. Chat picks third map. Third map for all teams for the round.
Right.
So because if you're watching your tape, you'll be like, okay, I know I don't want to play the Grumpy Gentleman on Rust.
Right.
They dominate that.
Yeah.
We're not picking Rust, even though that's the one we like.
Right. Yeah. No, there's a whole lot of strategy that's going to be going into this shit. And that's where franchise come in because
you got
if I played your team 100 times, I know your team.
Yeah.
Or I know this player from that team because they've been.
We've been watching them. Yeah. We all know Zodi.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what, yeah.
And then you can start recruiting players like Zodi. Come to the team.
And we were gonna, like, if Zodi does come in and dominate, we're gonna see a super team form, I think.
Yeah.
To try to smash him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, think about this. Zodi dominated, but the Misfits didn't play, homie. And the Misfits ball.
Yeah.
Misfits go hard.
I know.
Yeah. Easier to fight on Gunrunner for domination than St. Petro. High key.
Okay.
Easier to fight on Gunrunner. Yep.
Okay.
See?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's gonna be.
Yeah, because he played them twice in 2 different maps. All right, so I like this. I like what's happening here. So each team picks up each round. Chat picks up the third, and it's best 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Game modes. Game mode order. Chosen at random.
Boy, game order chosen at random.
Game mode order. So like you play best 2 out of 3 and you all pick your maps, but you don't know which map's gonna be. Like you don't know that we're playing domination first or that we're playing search and destroy first.
Right.
It's gonna be we're gonna get everything set, maps lined up. We're playing this map first, this map second, crowd map third,
And that'll be random.
and then we're picking the game modes.
Okay. That I like that.
Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, you can practice, but you can't really
But you're
like
not
hone in
gonna-
on a map for a mode, which I really like.
So it really makes more rounded teams should be able to do better.
Do better, right?
So like a really
your
good
loadout round. You like having different loadouts for
Ready
different
for-
types of maps.
That's gonna be.
That's gonna be
You're gonna
big.
need all 10 of those sections.
Yeah.
You
gotta be ready.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. All right. Make sure
Yo.
you don't play the same mode in one series. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're all gonna be. There's 3, but the order's different. So each team picks up.
So the
There's
mode for that
3.
round is going to be set. Now, what map it's on is going to be what
Players
changes,
teams
right?
choose,
What
exactly.
changes, right? So the
Well,
mode's
the mode's-
set, but the mode will be random. But they won't know what it is. But the
Well,
mode,
it's the same 3 modes every time, but the order of the
the
modes
order of the mode for that round
is going to be random.
Random.
That's cool. What we've done is we've taken CDL gameplay, thrown it into tournament structure,
And maybe
add
we
some crazy
find out
shit.
that we do want to do search and destroy the first round and then domination. Like maybe it does get eventually.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Well, no. We'll
We
find.
don't know.
We didn't
We'll
know
find
any. We needed all this shit
We'll
until
find out.
yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got gameplay. We've got team structure. Right. and we've got league structure. Now, what about like how are we doing game settings?
What are they now?
Just hardcore, no restrictions. It's going pretty good, Davey.
What up, Davey?
We've gotten to a pretty good place. I don't know how long you've been here, but we've got some we got shit going down.
We're voting on some shit too, man. So you're in the mix.
Yeah,
In the mix.
this is where it's happening. So let's give Davey the rundown. So what we got is just came back, had too much Oreo cereal.
That's a good problem to have. For sure.
So there's 12 teams play each week, and there's going to be 3 brackets of 4 teams. All right. Out of those brackets will emerge 3 winners who play in the double elimination round robin to determine first, second, and third place.
Out of those brackets, 2 winners who will then play to go into first.
Well, I'm assuming so. Those 4 team brackets. When I say
brackets, it's 6 games.
Ding.
Okay.
It's both. To me, it's both. That bracket because it's 2 on each side.
You're doing the
2
whole.
winners,
You're doing that. You're
next
matching
winner.
the one bracket.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
100%.
My bad, though.
So we're good though. No, we're good.
All right.
So 3 winners, double elimination, bada bing, bada boom. So it'll be first, second, and third place will be 10, 8, and 6 points. Fourth, fifth, and sixth will all be a tie for 4 points, and then everyone else gets 2 points if you played. And then those points are the Kanna Gaming League points. Teams are captains. So you register as a captain, and you're responsible for your team and recruiting for your team. Okay? For you, that doesn't, I don't know if that means a whole lot, Davey, because your team's pretty solid. But you have to submit your 6-man roster the Saturday before the game, right? So, like, there's every other week for the games, that in-between week, that Saturday, you got to submit your roster. And we're going to line up some shit where other teams can find, fourth man, 5th man, 6th man, that type of shit.
Kind of like a pickup game.
Like pickup games, in between.
We'll do it Saturday nights. We'll all get on there and mess around.
Exactly. But you got to submit, and if your shit's the same, your shit's the same. But that way we know we can expect you on Saturday, and we're eliminating the subs. Subs are out. So, but you can sign up new people to your team whenever. You just have a deadline for that week. Exactly.
And you gotta have 3 people. If you don't, you're taking the L on that.
Exactly.
On that game.
You can run 3, but if you don't have 3, you're taking the L.
And if you take the L on that first game, you're just out of the whole tournament. If you don't show up with
this structure, because it's not double elimination.
If you don't show up,
exactly.
If you don't show up that first game with your team, you're done.
Exactly.
For the tourney.
So
you're not messing up the rest of the games.
All right. So then, what we're doing. So here's how the gameplay works. Each team picks a map each round, okay, that you want to play, and then the chat is going to pick a map that all the teams play for the round. And the game, it's going to be best 2 out of 3. So what'll happen is, best 2 out of 3. I like how we got to submit the teams a week before, because then it'll be easier to set up scrims the week leading up to the tourney, because the rosters are set finally. Exactly. We'll know. Be there or be Pritchard. Exactly. And so.
And if you only submit 3, then the 3 better show up, because you're not going to be able to sub anybody after you submit it.
Right.
So you can have 3, but they better be there. Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Zodi and his 2 homies.
2 homies.
Yo, if Zodi and 2 homies run this shit. Super teams coming the next week. Yo, if someone comes in and runs it with 3 people and it's clearly one person, then y'all better make a fucking super team and smash them. Like, that's
real.
Like 1 week the fucking,
PP,
the fucking
Chuck Lag on there.
Yeah, the fucking Decepticons showed up.
Right.
Or the Avengers. It'd be the Avengers. We'll have to call the Avengers together for a week to take down Mephisto or whomever it is. Do we have a... Yeah, it's ready to roll, Davey. I think we're ready to roll.
We're ready.
So the tournament structures, we're leaning towards double elimination. I like that. So the tournaments is an all-day deal. It's a tournament. That's just what it is.
That's why that's
why you want to get into the
league.
league.
You get directly into the league because you put in more time and effort. And yeah, maybe you don't want to do the league play every 2 weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You ever been so high you eat a toaster strudel ice cream sandwich? Yo.
Oh my goodness. Do you know how good that sounds right now? Only thing about ice cream is it makes your high come down. It makes my high come down, I think.
What, ice cream?
Yeah.
Makes my high come down.
And I'm like, no.
Make
I
it come
want
all
to be
the
high.
way down. I want to be high.
I
want to be high.
I want to be high. Yo, that goes on the track. We need to slow down.
Yeah, flip that.
I want to be high.
I want to be high.
Yo, what's the dude on South Park? I want to be high.
Tally?
No, Mr.
No.
Garrison. I want to be
Okay.
high.
I don't think I've seen that.
No, I'm making it up right
Oh.
now. What's his voice?
Oh, Mr. Mackey.
Mr. Mackey. Yeah,
I want to be high.
Yeah, that's the guy. Mr. Mackey. That
I want to be high. Okay. I want to be high.
Good. Hey, that's been slapping right there.
Okay. Alright. That's enough of that.
Alright, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Fucking, alright. So, we got.
Yeah, man, back to that strudel ice cream. Oh my god, that's so amazing.
Yeah, that's fucking next
Oh
level.
man, that
Yeah.
sounds so damn good.
For real. For real. That could be amazing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Man, I'm to do. I
What's
got stuff
going on?
in the wax.
You got started in the wax?
Yeah.
Yay. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, the tournament, we've talked about the tournaments. We got time for that, though.
Yeah.
But I think double elimination on the tournaments would be pretty dope. I had a whole stutter collection. So, wait, you could fucking. Yo, you should make a fucking cookbook.
Yeah,
Stoner
reals,
cookbook.
For real.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Yeah.
And it could be
Is that a
simple.
group? Is that a Facebook group, Discord server yet? No, I'm talking to you. No, nothing over there.
Oh,
Stoner Munchie group?
I don't know. If
I
it
think
is.
maybe we should make it.
That would be.
Yeah, I think there should be a Stoner Munchie group.
I think that's the
Facebook
thing. Maybe we
group.
start. Maybe would you guys like that on Kanna, Krew? Frozen Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich. Ah, see, man, stop playing with me, dog.
Is there a Stoner
So,
Munchie
like,
subreddit?
Bro.
I got this shit. Sure, I'll check it right now.
No. Oh no.
Frozen Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich.
Oh. Yeah, imagine like a s'more ice cream.
Yo, this shit just peter out on me.
With like a butterscotch ice cream in the middle. That would be ridiculous.
Reddit. The front page of the fucking interwebs. Here we go.
Peanut butter banana honey Captain Crunch sandwich. Yo.
Stoner Munchies.
How did you do that?
How did you do that?
A peanut butter banana honey Captain Crunch sandwich. So the Captain Crunches, did you put that on the outside like the bread? Or how did that work? Or you had bread also in addition to Captain Crunches on the sandwich?
There's a Munchies subreddit. Buttered and fried
Brown
bananas.
sugar Pop-Tart with Rocky Road in the, brown sugar Pop-Tart with Rocky Road in the middle. Oh man, you can blow my mind right now, man. I can taste it, man. I can taste that shit. Ooh, that tastes amazing. What about the man, I feel like the cinnamon Pop-Tart with like Snickerdoodle or something in the middle would be good. I slipped the Captain Crunch in the middle with all the other good. Oh, okay. Okay, so it was like the topping. It was like the onions on the sandwich. Captain Crunch onions.
Okay, so here's the Munchies subreddit. Stoner Munchies subreddit does not exist, but Munchies subreddit does. But I mean, people are like tomato basil rice thing. Damn, I love them so crisp and
It's
flavored.
not no smoker.
Are they smokers?
It's, not
It's hard to tell. The fuck, I'm high special. Okay, hold on. Like, what is this? Totino's pizza rolls. Hold on. How do I get this? Hold on. I'm stealing this. I gotta show you guys what I'm looking at. Save image.
Oh, yo. Comedy.
Put this right here. Call it Stoner Munchie. Alright. And then we go over here to image.
Kanna Krew cookbook. Ugh, I love that. I really like that.
Too many hard consonants. Hard C consonants.
Kanna Krew cookbook?
Yep.
The crookbook hits it, huh?
Kanna, I mean, we could call it the Kanna cookbook, but Kanna Krew cookbook, like, we can't do any acronyms with that.
That's a lot. Kanna Krew cookbook.
Well,
The
because
K-
all our C's are K's.
The KKK. Yeah.
If we were going to call it
Yeah.
KKC, we might as well call it Triple C.
Yeah.
But we aren't, and we don't. But the Kanna Krew cookbook. See, no, it's not good. It's not. Kanna Krew cookbook, I don't know. But I said the Captain Crunch in the middle of the.
Alright.
We can make this.
Okay.
Tell me if this works, everybody.
Yes. Alright.
The fuck, I'm high. Can they see it? Can y'all see this? The fuck, I'm high special. Did it pop up? It didn't on yours.
Hold on,
I think it crashed.
No, mine.
That ain't shit. Oh yeah, no, they see it. Down. The fuck, I'm high special. That's amazing. All right.
Alright. It's time.
You're
It's
out.
time. Yeah, she's
Calling
out.
it.
My girl's
That's what I
outside.
ate every time. It's 1 a.m. and I'm drunk. Hella taquitos and pizza rolls.
Yeah, man.
All right, rip it. One for the road. Get all your stuff. Oh yeah, Smother that thing in nacho cheese topped with goldfish.
Goldfish. I was
Wait.
with you with the cheese.
Are y'all wait?
The goldfish pushed it for me. The goldfish pushed it for me.
Who's
Because
gonna?
it's real cheese and then fake cheese together, and that's just not a good combo for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't dip like Cheez-Its in the nacho cheese.
You don't double cheese it like that?
No.
It's blasphemous.
No, it just doesn't match to me.
It doesn't
Doesn't go.
fucking.
I do put Cheez-Its in my sandwiches now.
Oh,
They're bomb. That's
I
bomb.
bet.
That
Cheez-Its are dank.
sandwich is
Cheez-Its are dank.
Fire.
and I'm vegan.
Right. That's fire. Fire.
Ah, that is super fire. Okay, so I like that we just pulled that picture up. I need to utilize more multimedia things on OBS, but there's only one place to go from here is up. So we've got this.
All right, y'all.
You're out.
I'm out, man.
You're out.
I got a dip. All right, man.
Lot
If you
accomplished.
guys don't know, we didn't talk about it. I'm just gonna say
Do your
talk
thing.
about it. We're gonna be possibly giving away one of these pieces over here. So keep an eye out on Kanna Krew, the Instagram.
Yeah.
And if you don't already know, the Soul Assassin, this was the first MVP trophy from the Kanna Games won.
That's right.
So that's out there, man. You can still get be a piece of history. Man, it's gonna be a dope thing coming up. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah. It is gonna be dope. What does a blind gynecologist do?
Blind gynecologist hopefully sniffs his way out of there.
Oh, shit. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, Doc. I was like, yo, I can't move.
Oh, it happened again? Oh,
I was like, yo, I can't move.
What
Like,
the
what
fuck?
the
You
fuck?
slumped over just now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was weird as fuck. That was weird as fuck. I was like, whoa.
Oh, no. All right. Oh, man.
What did I just do?
You made a fucking joke and it was hilarious.
And then I just said,
And then you slumped out. Yeah, I don't know. You should get that checked out, homie.
I think I don't get enough oxygen to my air.
You fucking passed yourself out from laughing too hard?
I think so,
Oh my god.
Like, whoa.
Well, what about in Chicago when
That's what was
you were
it?
coughing or what?
I don't remember.
That was rough. Yo, we were in Chicago in the smoking room, not smoking what we were supposed to be, and he hit the blunt, and he was coughing, and my brother was there, and he's coughing, and then he was like, and like fell over like, and then my brother and I were like, like making fun, like playing around, and then he's like, yo, I couldn't control what was going on. And we're like, what the fuck? And we felt like assholes. And then we got thrown out. That was the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's just say before the Kanna Krew was official, the Krew was on the move.
Yo, man, be careful about this Zubler, this little thing right here, man.
The Zabadabble.
Man, the
you out.
Zabadabble. Yo, y'all been watching this the whole time. How many times did I hit that motherfucker, dog? Yo, I got a headache right now. God damn.
Yo, welcome to my world.
Oh, yeah, when you do the
Smacked
lives.
out on that
oh,
shit.
my God.
I don't pass out like that, though. I zone out, though.
Oh, man, I just passed out, I think.
That was rough, dog.
That was rough.
I wonder if we were peaking the audio that whole time. I didn't look, but we were loud. We were probably peaking the audio. It was probably hard on their ears.
Oh, shit,
All right, man.
All right, man.
What's the difference between jam and jelly? What's that? Oh, you didn't even hear the punchline.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, the
okay.
other one, blind gynecologist, he reads lips.
Okay.
He said he sniffs his way out. He says I can't jelly my dick into John Time's ass. John Time's his homies. He's on
Oh,
there.
man.
Oh, and he meant to say deaf, not blind.
Yo, I just rolled with it. I just ran with it, yo.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
All right,
make
man.
it pass out still. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
All right.
man.
That's right. Oh, game settings. Do we just want to go CDL? We want to restrict all the explosive things except frag grenades, pretty much.
I like the gameplay the way it's been.
And what about the kill streaks and shit? Maybe we talk about this. I don't know. Do we push this conversation or what? Because I don't know, man.
The game modes?
No, not the game modes.
The
The settings.
I like them the way they are.
Just straight up hardcore.
I mean, we voted on it twice.
It was 50-50 though. Well, we didn't make it explicit that it was the settings.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Should we vote on it?
We could vote. We could
I
vote.
mean, we've been running hardcore this whole time. It's kind of hard to go back.
No, I say we keep running hardcore.
Okay, I like hardcore.
But I was talking about restricting weapons and explosives. and
No,
kill
I
streaks.
think no because
like
I
the
think
airplanes.
no because I think that the switching of everything will make you have to switch up your. You'll have to switch up your loadouts. Yeah, you have to switch your loadouts. There's no way you're gonna run the same loadouts
true,
on
yeah.
different maps with different game modes.
Kill streak should be a limit, and to how high it can go, and settings should be CDL. That's Davey.
What's CDL?
Call of Duty League.
That's with no snipers and
No. It's no marksman rifles. You can have the sniper rifle.
Mhm.
No shotguns. No rocket launchers. The lethal throws are frag grenade and the sticky grenade, and then the other throws are like the flashbang and the smoke bomb, I think. And then you get so nothing like C4 or the proximity mine or anything like that. And then and then they limit the kill streaks, like you can't call in airplanes or helicopters. Kind of, sort of. And then no Wheelson, the wheelie dude.
Okay, I kind of
that
like
kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's none of the shit that like is just broken.
So you got to be able to shoot and use your.
Yeah, you can't. Or throw a frag grenade. You know.
See, I like claymores.
It also limits the perks
like
and shit. Right, I know, and I'm sure a lot of people like the Wheelson.
Yeah.
But okay, let's see what else.
You got to get a lot of kills to get the Wilson. You got to get 10.
I feel it.
Kills. What I think though, one thing I'm gonna.
I only ever see the Wilson in shipment.
I like you know what I like? Oh, I have seen it in shipment.
Because it gets crazy in shipment.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But what was I about to say? I really like maybe that King of the Hill.
What's that?
Game mode, where it's like, it's moving. It's like
hard
domination.
Point.
Yeah,
hard point. Yeah, that's gonna be our third one.
Okay.
So it'll be no team deathmatch, hard point.
Bet.
Hard point, domination, and search and destroy.
Bet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, instead of getting choppers and planes, you get more okay, make everyone run the specialist option. It turns your kill streaks into perk streaks. So instead of getting choppers and planes, you get more perks for getting a kill streak.
Okay.
Right?
We'll put it up to a vote. We got some stuff to vote on.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so I wrote down everything.
All right, dope.
Yep. This is kind of a mess, but.
No, I feel it. For sure.
All right, man.
Peace out on you.
I'm gonna go out there and get some fresh air.
Bet. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right. So we kind of got everything figured out except game settings, which is important, but is easy to figure out. It seems to me to be, when we did the little vote, it was 50-50, but I don't think everyone, the vote actually wasn't for settings, it was for gameplay style, but it turned into a vote for settings, I feel like. So I think what we'll do is put a vote for settings up, and the options will be run it or go to CDL style, and it'll kind of just be in how many people actually want to limit, I guess is the point of that. I guess. I mean, is that even worth it? I don't know. We also haven't had the Kanna kid here for a lot of the time, but yeah, I've been hearing people say they don't want all the explosives and shit. I definitely have heard that, but we definitely got. We didn't do a true vote on the settings, so we're gonna do a vote on the settings. I think we should. I'm gonna do something now. Weekly topped gifters resets in less than a day. But yeah, when you announce the new format, you should put a vote for the settings. Bet. All right. That works, mofo. And here you go, homie. Gift to the community. Wait, I don't understand what's going on right here. Hold on. How does this work? Start, type. I don't know. I'm going to figure something out real quick, though. But Mofo, Kai, Davey, whoever's in here, good looking out. Oh, rated. Yo, so what's the outcome? All right, Ware. You ready? 2 hours, 59 minutes. Okay? All right. Here it is. 12 teams play. There can be reserve teams. Okay? That's how we're kind of working with adding new teams midway. Okay? So 12 teams play. There can be reserve teams that sign up. And if teams don't show, we're going to know all the teams that show on Saturday. So, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just give you the rundown. 12 teams will play. Gameplay is going to be 3 groups of 4 teams. So 3 brackets of 4 teams. Okay? And so what that's going to do is it's going to get everyone at set time. And it's going to be a 2 to 2.5 hour window of time that you need to be committed for. Okay? So there'll be 3 brackets. The winners of those brackets will play later that day in a double elimination round robin for first, second, and third place. All right? Then we'll distribute points. 10 points to first, 8 points to second, 6 points to third. 4, 5, and 6 each get 4 points. Everyone else gets 7. If you didn't play, you get no points. All right? The teams are going to be not teams that register, but captains that register their team. Okay? And when you register a team, you have to submit a roster. So it's 4 to 6 people you submit when you register your team. All right? But every Saturday before the game, because it's every other Saturday, so that middle Saturday is going to be that middle Saturday at midnight Pacific. Well, it's Arizona time, all right? And so here's the thing, is y'all are going to have to deal with this because we don't, okay? We don't do daylight savings. So sometimes we're Pacific, sometimes we're Mountain. That's why I say Arizona time. It's going to be, right now we're Pacific though. So midnight Pacific, the Saturday before the game, your up to 6-man roster needs to be submitted. There's no subs on game day. Okay? No subs on game day. You get you can only pick from your roster you submit the week before. All right? That's it. You can run 3, but it's a 4-man team. But you can run a 3 versus 4 if you want. Right? All right. Then we go to the gameplay. So it's going to be best 2 out of 3, the gameplay. All right? Except for the round robin, that's what it is. So it's best 2 out of 3, and all 3 game modes are going to be in there. Domination, search and destroy, hardpoint. All right? Then the maps are going to be chosen by the teams that are playing. Each team picks a map, and then the motherfucking each team picks a map, and then the chat's going to pick a map for the round, for the third game. So those maps are going to be put in place, and then we're going to determine the random order of the game modes for your match. So no one will be able to say, I'm playing this map on this game mode. People will be able to say, I'm playing this map, and let's hope it lands on my game mode. Okay? And then you'll be able to determine your map based on your opponent, based on precedence, once there is, like gameplay precedence, which there is some. That's kind of it. Game settings, up in the air right now. When we drop this, we're going to open the voting for gameplay settings. Do you want to restrict it to CDL settings for gameplay, or do you want to leave it at just hardcore? It's going to stay hardcore, but it'll be hardcore with CDL, or it'll be just hardcore with no weapon restrictions. That's kind of it. Do you want weapon restrictions or no? And we'll roll with the CDL weapon restrictions and all that stuff, because that's an easy. Yeah, everything's gonna go everywhere that we can do it. There's also going to be a website coming soon, Kanna.games, and that's going to have everything as well, along with the ratings, standings, and all that shit. That's the goal. That's what we got going on. All right. Where's my 9-inch? Davey. So here, do you want the standings? Here's the result. That's the result, the new league structure. Here is the results, the standings as of this week. There's tiebreakers that have to happen, though. And tiebreakers are going to be determined only for placement, only for seeding, right? But they're going to be determined based on point differential in the thing. So if you blow somebody out and then you lose by a little bit, that's good. If you lose 2 close games, you're going to rank better than someone who has the same amount of points with you as you, but lost in I lost it. I lost the train of thought. You get what I'm saying. If not, let me know, and I'll go back to it. But this is how it is. PP Squad, 10 points. Smoking Roaches, 8 points. 9-inch Males, 6 points. The Blasted Blasters, the Kanna Cadets, and the Taxmen all have 4 points. The Boogaloo Krew, they belong to the Streets, and the Undertokers all get 2 points. E-Money, Misfits, and Monday Molly all get 0 points because they did not participate. So there you go. That's the standings as of right now. If the Kanna games were today, there would be there's a tiebreaker between the Cadets, the Taxmen, and the Blasters. But it would be the PP Squad, the Smoking Roaches, the 9-inch Males, and 2 of those 3 teams. And they would be going to the Kanna games today. So that's the rundown. That's the business. ESPOT, the Ocho. We out here. I think that's it. Oh wait, hold on. Rated Crispy and everyone that didn't know, check it out. The oh fuck I'm high special. I'll just set this like I'm talking to these Tostino pizza rolls. You look delicious. Come here. Nice, clean, and simple. Sounds like next minute's going to be popping. That's right. 2 weeks from yesterday. 2 weeks from yesterday, everybody. It's going down the 27th. I got it on my calendar. Do you have it on yours? I'm going to try this. Hold up. Includes that for gift. All team. I don't know. I feel like this is telling me I can do this? Oh, I see what's going on. Never mind. Man, I thought that was... I'm tripping. I can't wait till the next tourney in July. Yo. Oh yeah, no, that looks good, right? We're gonna start the subreddit. The Kanna Crew's got enough juice. We can start a subreddit. We don't post a lot on our own shit, but we have in the past. Yo, we got banned, and I don't know why. We got banned out of the Bongs subreddit. The fuck's that all about? I'm about to message those dudes because we don't even post in that shit. We don't even post in there. I think the last time we posted in there was like 4 months ago, and I just got banned like 2 days ago. But are you the one? Oh, where we didn't even, man. Ping is the first thing on the elephant in the room list I have. We addressed everything else. Ping. So I guess that's the one thing that's up in the air. What? How do people feel about splitting up the hosting onto? We've kind of eliminated the necessity for it in terms of time. At this point, but there's the ping issue for people on East Coast. What do y'all think about that? That's a real thing. So, you know. That's why I said squad stream. No, yeah, squad stream. We have a solution for it, for that. But he's talking about hosting lobbies because people on the East Coast. So then are we splitting into like East Coast conference and West Coast conference type thing? Or is it just going to be a random, sometimes you get in one and sometimes you don't get in another one? Well, Kai, you're West Coast, right? Now, I will say this. Now, hold on. This is something. Anyone just so stream can see. Yeah, no, I feel that. Um, now, what? Hmm. I mean, it would be nice if we had like somewhere in fucking. Wait. Here's my question: if we did the one thing, if we did the, you know how there's the dedicated server thing now that wasn't there before this update. Um, do you think if we used that, the ping would be an issue? Oh, so right here's the thing: where is that? I understand the frustration, and I understand that this is an issue. I have to point it out though. I have to. Okay, I'm with it. The Grumpy Gentleman won the first tournament. The Kanna Games won, and two of them were in New York. One of them was in Florida, and one of them was in Ohio. The Bohicans, and the Grumpy Gentleman dominated that first tournament. The Bohicans dominated everything except for the championship, and two of them are in Florida. One of them was in Missouri, and one of them was in Texas. So Central East Coast seems to be the split on the major winners. PP Squad, I know Cloud is in New York. Cloud was on the Grumpy Gentleman when he won the first time. I don't know the location of his other teammates. Cloud said ping was high yesterday. You said ping was high yesterday. Davies in Montana. But I understand it being an issue. So I do like, I would like for there to not be any issues. You know what I mean? So we would have to come up with a way of what we would do. We just need to come up with it. Because now we could make it random to where, you know, sometimes you play on the East Coast server, sometimes you play on the West Coast. But I think, does anyone know if that dedicated server thing on the setting on Call of Duty, if that fixes this problem? It could help. That's what you said. Got it. I should look it up. Actually, I guess what we should try to do is queue one up and see how you ping. Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, we got to the same place, same time. We good. We good. Dope. So things we got to figure out. Kanna Gaming Leagues. We're gonna do a vote on settings, and we need a ping solution. That's what we need. And so to do that, we're going to try the dedicated server. I wonder if there's restrictions for dedicated. It was an option this last time, but it was taking forever to queue up for it. But hold on, then it was like freaking out, and so I had to back out, and I re-queued the lobby, and then we never tried the dedicated server again. So, just saying. Just saying. Yeah, so vote on settings and ping solution. Game modes: domination, search and destroy, hardpoint, and you will play all three game modes. More than likely. Just anticipate playing all three because it's going to be random selection of those three, but it's going to alternate all the time. So it's going to keep you on your toes. So the more well-rounded teams should do better. That's kind of the point. But then we have tournaments that are specific to game modes, and where it's your time to shine. The Bohicans' time to shine, because they're really good at search and destroy. So that's what we got. That's what we got. The shit's going up. It's going out. There's some shit I got to do. It's 9:15 here. Oh man, I need to eat, which means I'm not going to sleep for a little while, which is rough on work in the morning, but Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We got some shit going down. I gotta get some chow. Looking at this picture all day. Yeehaw. All right, everybody. Peace out. Much love, respect. It's going down. Thanks. All I've been playing is CDO. Oh, well, fucking it. I'm gonna smoke and watch a movie. Yeah, bet. Peace out, Kai. Everybody, thanks for coming by, contributing. Because of people like you, this league is gonna be fucking dope. Peace.